to make sure everything's working. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette, your local game guy, and this is co-host Will.
Sup?
Hey, Will. How are you?
I'm good. Thunder's crazy weather warning 30 minutes to an hour ago, but it's calmed down, so I'm good to stream.
What about lightning? Any of that?
Ka-chow. Yeah, there was a little bit, but it's more like rolling thunder sounds than actual flashes of lightning.
Would you
It's just
say?
flash rain, hurricane weather for 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay. I was really trying to make a reference to lightning from the game, but
Bad.
It didn't make sense.
Queen now, ka-chow.
Yeah. So, guys, we've been here before. We've done this kind of coverage. As a matter of fact, some of you were even with us then. So, this is part 2. Perhaps the last part for this. We'll see. We're very close to getting the full set reveal at this point, but we have not touched on any of the cards from the main set apart from the Legendaries. So, you can expect a set review excluding Legendaries once Final Fantasy fully releases, which is very, very soon. We want to cover all of the legends from this set to give you guys an idea of what you should be gearing towards doing with them in a commander setting, specifically in the command zone. But we should do a lot of brews from this set, and we'll also do a legendary tier list, which will be perhaps the biggest tier list we've ever done. And a lot of it's conjecture, I gotta say, but it's always fun to go through the legends with you guys and make our own minds up about where they fit. What were you gonna say, Will?
Speaking of the legend tier list, that is most of the reason why we are covering all the legendaries on stream now. It's because we don't want to have an 8-hour long legendary tier list live stream when the full set gets released. If we cover the legendaries here, we don't need to go into a whole ramble on why things are or are not bracket 3 or bracket 4 in the future. At worst, Patrick and I will butt heads on a couple cards, and we'll just say, let's put it on the lower of the 2 brackets for safety's sake, and then keep moving.
That, or we'll leave it to a poll so that you guys can vote on where you feel these legendaries deserve to be on the tier list. We've switched to a bracketed system as it is in beta, and that's what we're going off of to dictate the level of play you are competing at, or just playing at for the most part. So there's a lot of legends. There's no good way to sort them, to my knowledge, on Scryfall, separating them from the ones we've already discussed. So everything is up to date on Scryfall right now. We're going to be looking through this. If we skip over some legendaries, that's because we've covered them in part 1. If you want to discuss them with us, you can do so in that video. Just leave a comment, or you can even bring them up here. We're not going to spend too much time on them, though, because we do want to cover just the new cards. If you guys have opinions, don't keep them to yourselves. Let us know. On that note, are you ready to talk about Aith? Not Gainsborough. Love her. But last and final ancient. Jeez.
I think for this also, I'll read off the card, then you can give your opinion and I can give mine, just for the simplicity of I have the list on the side of everything we've already covered.
Correct. Yeah.
Aith Last Ancient is 2, a green and a white for a 3/4 legendary creature, human cleric druid with a lifelink and raise. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you gain 7 or more life this turn, return that card to the battlefield instantly.
Okay, so we build this like we did Tifa yesterday. We give her a +4/+4, and we swing for a lifelink. So we're obviously outside of black, so it's not like we're going to have great ways to entomb anything to start bringing back this way. Obviously, cheating the casting cost of something is great, but committing to gaining 7 life is kind of a lot. She obviously has lifelink, so bare minimum, you're going to be recovering a creature. But this feels okay. I don't know that there's any great thing you can do with this, especially with it being at end step, but it's a cool recursion commander at 4.
Yeah. You pretty much said what I thought about the card. This is pretty much a Selesnya version of, I think, Marin is the Golgari experience commander.
Marin's way cooler.
Return something to hand or revive it. The benefits of Aith are you're gaining life, and it's kind of easier to gained 7 life in one turn and then just immediately reanimate something big, then take up the experience counters until you reanimate something big.
Mm-hmm.
But the major downside is no entombs.
Yeah, I mean, lifelink though, and it operating off of life gain is something that is definitely in White's wheelhouse. And to be honest, life gain isn't really a prominent strategy in Commander. Usually, it's we're more concerned about life loss or cards that just say win the game if you're playing in a competitive setting. So I don't know. I like that it's 7 though, just thematically, because Final Fantasy 7. I appreciate what they did mechanically with the card. But I wouldn't say that this is one of the better ones from the set, and it'll probably rank that way when we do the tier list. Okay.
The next we're going to cover 2 at the same time because these are partner with.
Are they? Oh yeah, they are. Excuse me. How did I miss that?
Alicia, I can't pronounce that perfectly. 2 and a white for a legendary creature, elf wizard with partner with
Alphanod,
Alphanod.
yeah.
There's a 3/2 with first strike and dual cast. The second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. And Alphanod is a 4 mana, 3 and a blue, legendary creature elf wizard with 2 power, 4 toughness, and vigilance. Partner with Elysia, and whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. So we're Orzop pairing, a little bit of cost reduction and a little bit of draw.
Azorius pairing.
Yeah, I said Orzop. You're right.
Yeah.
Azorius.
Yeah, no, that's okay. This is kind of funny because like you could cast Alice and then you could cast her brother, presumably that same turn for 2 less, which is kind of cool. So you can for what is that 5 mana? For 5 mana, you can have both commanders on the field. What that gets you is not too much. I mean, I think the Eucrasia effect is decent. Second spell, draw a card. Obviously, that's functionally what we care most about. But the cost reduction is kind of cool. The fact that it's your second spell, it hinders it a little bit. Depending on how you sequence things, you just need to be a little bit more methodical. But it's not bad. This is a kind of cool pairing. I don't think it's going to really make waves like the original partners did, but it's good.
Yeah. I will say from Stella Lee experience, casting 2 cards to draw 1 card is a little bit difficult, and you will run out of hand relatively quickly. But it keeps your hand a little bit full, which is nice. So you could probably make some kind of a Azorius cast slightly bigger spells deck, and it could work relatively well, but nothing major. It fun pair. Next is Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness. 1 a white and a black for a legendary creature, Spirit Warrior with 2 power and 2 toughness. When you cast a white spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain vigilance. When you cast a black spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain menace. Thoughts, Patrick?
Sorry, I was putting up a poll. This is word vomit, isn't it?
It's when you cast a white spell, give everything counters. When you cast a black spell, give everything counters, and then also a keyword.
Each legendary creature, that is. I think it's really going to apply almost strictly to him for the most part. Warrior of Darkness. I just want to see if he has an alt art. Honestly, my favorite part of these cards is just seeing the alt arts we get. Menace is really cool. Vigilance is really cool. I kind of want both those things. Does this mean you play a split color deck so that you have both every single time? No. I like that there's permanence with the buffing. I think that's really good. It's also really nice just to have that on top of a list that can operate with the Heliod combo. Not that that's even the best thing you could do here. I'm trying to think if there's is there like a persist? No, because they kind of automatically come back.
Yeah, it's on cast. You put the counters on stuff, not on enter, so there isn't like a good persist loop. The thing is, this is whenever you cast any white spell and whenever you cast any black spell, buff all of your legendaries. You could very easily make a oops all legendary deck, and then this is the what's that white enchantment? When a thing enters, put a counter on each of your creatures.
Oh, damn it!
Cathars Crusade.
Yes.
Cathar's Crusade. This is
Yes.
Cathar's
Yes.
Crusade in the command zone. Whenever you play Legendary, you buff all of your things, but also staples on keywords on there. So if you just make an oops all Legendary deck in casual, you're hitting hard very fast with a lot of keywords and evasion.
I like it. I definitely agree with you. I think an Oops All Legendary, maybe casual build for this is pretty solid. 3 mana 2/2 is obviously not great. You kind of want to chase this with more effects, but this also works as like a really interesting like combat trick in a way, right? Because you could cast any white instant or any black instant, give this protection or something like that, and then have it also effectively block. But yeah, I'm fine. This is okay.
Yeah,
No, the thought everything's
playable commander, probably not bracket 4, maybe bracket 3 at best, but playable card.
yeah,
Playable commander. Next is Orin. Orin. 3 and a white for a legendary creature, human spirit samurai with 2 power and 5 toughness and vigilance. Shooting star. Whenever Orin attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When you do, exile target creature defending player controls with power less than Orin's power until Orin leaves the battlefield.
Sorry. I'm sorry, just typing with Grizzly. I realized Final Fantasy 7 through 10. As soon as we went over Orin, I'm like, oh yeah, 10 was amazing. What am I talking about? Also, Blitzball was very fun to play. If you ever played Final Fantasy, actually, you know what? Final Fantasy 10 is probably, if I'm being realistic, it's probably the most popular up until I think the remakes. I think 10. I don't know if it was commercially more successful than 7 or not, but a lot of
know 7.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I think we all pretty much got our start on 7, folks of our generation. But 3 mana generic, 1 white, shooting
it's
star.
4 mana. When it attacks, put a counter on it, then exile a thing the defending player controls with less power until this leaves the board.
That's great. Isn't this just like better Palace Jailer or something? Palace Jailer is on ETB, mind you. But
yeah,
I mean, repeatable damage or repeatable exile, excuse me, is pretty solid.
Yeah,
actually,
so it's self-buffing vigilance, so it's going to be a good blocker and it's going to be good removal. The main thing that this is probably going to do is hit commander, because then you have to make the horrible choice of, do you want to put it into exile to get it back for free later, or are you going to put it back into command zone and then replay it to have it exiled again by Orin?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Maybe I misspoke. Palace Jailer is pretty fucking good still for an uncommon. But you know what I'm getting at. It's a 4 mana do that thing. Yeah, I feel you. I like this a lot. I think that you probably want some sort of haste enabling, because you want to get Shooting Star going off immediately. I love that it says he's a spirit. It gives it away completely. If you've never played Final Fantasy X, oh fuck yeah! If you've never played Final Fantasy X, that kind of gives away something important with Orin's character. Nothing is better than 7. I started with 3. I went back and retroactively played all the other ones. There's like remakes for Game Boy and like PSP. I think I got, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
say, Orin is maybe not the best commander, but will definitely be a nuisance if he is in the command zone. In the 99, he's like weirdly consistent removal and good disruption against commander-centric decks. So he has a lot of nice utility.
Right. I feel like you're going to get hated out just doing that shit, though.
People will want to kill Orin constantly.
Yeah. I also like that he's vigilant 2/5 off the bat. Obviously he'll clearly get better. Also, you're just removing blockers too. Sadly, there's not really a good Voltron package built into him. Like, he doesn't help you cheat equipment or find equipment or do anything really with it. Equipment or enchantment, I should say. But he works really well with them, which is interesting. So I guess the game plan would just be to go for commander damage, some variation of that.
Yep. Next, we got a Avalanche of Sector 7.
We definitely covered them. We covered them.
We did not, I don't believe.
Oh, we did, sir.
I don't think so. I went over the stream and didn't see us cover them.
I'm positive we did. We can quickly cover it.
Yeah, they're not anything fancy. Avalanche of Sector 7, 2 and a red legendary creature, human rebel with menace, power equal to the number of artifacts your opponents control. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact they control, Avalanche of Sector 7 does 1 damage to that player. It is a star 3. Fun.
Yeah.
Interesting pseudo Voltron.
Yeah, no more Dockside Extortionist. It's okay.
Yep. We already covered Balathair and Fran.
Like
so
them
next we have a Banon.
Banon? Let's go.
A Banon.
Banana.
Banana.
Bananon.
Two and a red and a white for legendary creature, human cleric rebel with 1 power, 3 toughness. Pray. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from among cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere other than the battlefield this turn. Whenever you attack, you may pay 1, and if you do, discard a card, or you may pay 1 and discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Interesting. Like, you can do stuff with a self-mill. If you do a mill your deck combo, a creature, cast a creature, so you can't cast, what's it called? You can't cast Underworld Breach off of milling your graveyard, or milling your deck. There's probably some weird combo here, but in general, this is kind of pseudo value, because if you are doing draw discard stuff, you just draw a discarded creature, play the creature. You always discard the thing you want to play anyways, so just do that. A weird pseudo value Boros commander. It is like technically 1 draw turn, so
Hey, well, it's like card quality, but yes.
well, card quality, but if you discard a creature, you're playing it, so you didn't discard anything. It's
okay,
like it's weirdly value, but also not.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting commander. I don't think it's going to be played a ton, but somebody's going to make a discard deck out of this, or like a mill combo deck out of this, and it will do a thing.
Well, look, I think that WotC heard everyone complaining about how they only do one thing with Boros, and they pivoted just a little bit, but they pivoted.
Boros only wants one thing, and it's disgusting. And by that, I mean disgusting numbers, just big smacky numbers.
You are this world's last ray of light, our final hope, and that's why I'm gonna keep casting you from the graveyard. Please stop dying. All right, we're moving on to the leader of Avalanche.
Yeah, Barrett, Avalanche Leader, 2 red and green for legendary creature, human rebel with 4 power, 4 toughness, and reach. Avalanche. Whenever an equipment you control enters, you create a 2/2 red rebel token. At the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target rebel you control.
Oh, I wanted to see the tokens. It's neither Biggs. No, that's Jesse. Is that some variation of Jesse? Yeah, it is. Very cool. I was like, oh man, are we gonna get Biggs, Wedge, or Jesse as tokens? And we did one of them. Sorry.
Reach is nice. Making tokens is kind of nice, and then auto equipping is also nice. So interesting. I don't know how great it's going to be, just because it really is cheat and equip cost and make tokens every now and then.
Yeah, but it's a Gruul, sir. This is unique. You're not excited to cheat on a Colossal Hammer to Barrett here?
I mean, it's like Colossal Hammer, Clouds. I can't even say Clouds a New Sword, because that's the 7 mana. It costs 7 mana to play it and 7 to equip it, and then it's bad Argentum Armor.
Is it Ultimate Weapon? Is that the?
I think it's Ultimate Weapon. I'm not sure though. So this Barrett is interesting, but not anything fancy.
No, I like this one though. I like at the beginning of combat on your turn too. So if whatever you had like prior has haste, you can do a thing. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It seems like a really fun casual deck though, because you can mobilize pretty quickly and start beating face. I like this one a lot. I think I like this one better than this other one here.
Next is Barrett Wallace, 3 in a red for legendary creature, human rebel, 4 power, 4 toughness, and reach. Whenever Barrett Wallace attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player.
Huh.
So I just want to say, not each opponent, not equal to the number of equipment you control, number of equipped creatures you control to defending player.
Yeah.
That is so bottlenecked on every single means that it could possibly be bottlenecked.
Yeah, they're like, it's uncommon. It could even be common. It's not that good.
It's very much not that good.
It's sad too, man, because Barrett's pretty sick. I also wish they gave him the attack. I wish that they gave us like the boxing glove fist as one of his equipments. There's too many cool things from these games to take and put into a card game. Like, I feel like they can make a whole nother Final Fantasy set, and I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all. Should have been 3 mana too. Yeah, it's kind of costly at 4.
Yeah. Well, next is a Beatrix Loyal General,
Same.
or white.
Final Fantasy 9. You wouldn't know it. Oh, sorry. So you wouldn't know it if you didn't play Final Fantasy 9, people. Beatrix is badass. Sorry, continue.
4 power, 4 toughness, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of equipment you control onto target creature you control. It's Ardent, but double the cost, double the stats, has vigilance, and no partner. Play Ardent.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but what Will said.
Next, though,
Bugenhogen.
Bugenhogen, Wise Elder, 1 green, legendary creature, human shaman, with 1 power, 3 toughness, and reach. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, draw a card. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Weirdly good. It's kind of like the Selvala draw. This is budget Selvala. Giving draw for big power stuff and making some mana. It's Selvala at home.
Yeah, I honestly like this one a lot. It's did anyone else get the Cosmo Canyon music in their head when they saw Bugenhogen, by the way? Did anyone? Bueller? At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control, this is just fine. It is kind of like Selvala at home, but like it doesn't give your opponents a draw. And it's decent. Like, it's just a really good, this feels like a really good dork for 2. Mind you, in a CEDH setting, you typically don't use dorks at 2. I won't say that.
There's some decks that will
but like
use
Bloom Tender,
hexproof to itself,
or that, I guess. Yeah, but Bloom Tender is like maybe the go-to. Excuse me. This is fine.
Yeah, I do very much like this because it's it's an any color dork. It has decent stats. It has reach and it gives you incidental draw. Really good in the 99 in the command zone. Not unplayable. Mm-hmm. Not great, but not unplayable.
Yeah. Yeah. What other dorks do you have that go in the command zone? Are there Marwyn, Selvala? Are there any like non-offensive dorks? He's pretty unoffensive.
There's one of the doctor partners in green. Yeah. There's like no good green partners with the doctor, companion of the doctor. So there's one that's just a dork on, I think, 2.
I haven't played the remake yet. The first one, yes. I haven't played the second Rebirth yet. But do they go to Cosmo Canyon in that game? I don't really know. I've only seen the stuff at like Costa del Sol. That like beach village you go to. At any rate, Bugenhogen.
Next is Kate Sith, Fortune Teller, 3 in a red for a legendary artifact creature cat noble with 3 power, 3 toughness, and lucky slots.
So close. Moogle.
Huh? Oh, Moogle. Why did?
Yeah, noble. Hey, you look kind of.
Did I say noble? Did I say cat noble?
You saw the crown.
My bad.
You saw the crown.
Freaking just saw a thing that looked like could be noble, and I'm like, that's a creature type that exists. Noble. Also crown. So, lucky slots at the beginning of combat on your turn. Scry 1, then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a card this way, target creature you control gains +X/+O, where X is that card's mana value. Free draw and punch card.
Is there any decent top deck organization?
Scroll Rack.
Right?
There's like all the artifact stuff. Not really anything red, but
no, but like a Scroll Rack could be kind of cool. I mean, let me think here. What's the idea? I think my mind is sort of leaning towards like double, any of the red effects that say double the thing's power if it hits a player or permanent, right? Stuff like that, plus top deck manipulation, right? Which also gives you free reign to use the red counterbalance, right? So like you could probably do a fun top deck manipulation list with this. I mean, it has Scry itself, mind you, so sometimes you won't need to reach that hard. It's kind of cool, though. I like this. I do think that this is more casually minded, but just like Kate Sith was in the game. Definitely more casually minded.
Not a great card, but definitely a fun card. It's also an artifact in the command zone for whatever that's worth. Next, we have Chocoo Seeker of Paradise. 1 a blue, a white, and 1 a green, a white, and a blue for legendary creature bird. 3 in a green. 3/5.
Yeah.
Whenever 1 or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand. Then put any number of lands from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest into your graveyard.
Okay.
Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, Chocoo gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn.
Better
Bird turns.
Tifa?
Bird turns.
Yeah. So what's your strategy here?
Play Birds of Paradise, play anything else that is a half-decent bird, play Chocoo, attack, ramp, play an extra turn spell, ramp, play an extra turn spell, ramp, play an extra turn spell, ramp, play an extra turn spell.
Is Mockingjay in this? I guess you just run a lot of changelings. You could also just run...
There's things that make bird tokens as well. Like, you have enough random incidental birds, like Dovescape. You could theoretically Dovescape and just make everybody's lives miserable.
Oh, shit, that's the thumbnail. You're like, Dovescape is now playable? Or Dovescape tribal?
You gotta do the, like, face.
Yeah. I like Chocoo. It seems fun.
Yeah, Chocoo's good. Good bird tribal commander. And it's unbanned, which I don't think we've had a good bird tribal commander ever. So...
No. Will,
the good one.
What's the new Atali enchantment? I'm being told.
That. Hold on one second.
Atali's just in it, right? It's not his name. Atali's favor. Atali's favor.
I thought you were talking about triple trade. Never mind.
Atali's favor. Enters to discover 3 exile top cards of your library. To exile an online card of the mana value of 3 or less. That can't. I don't.
I thought you were talking about Triple Trade, which is a new card from Final Fantasy.
No, Triple Triad.
Triad. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I don't know which one that is, Mateus. I'd be curious to look at it. Was it the one I just looked at? I'm sorry. All right.
Next we have Sid, but not that Sid. It's Sid, Free Flyer Pilot. 1, a white, for a 2/2 legendary creature, human warrior pilot. Equipment and vehicle spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Jump. During your turn, Sid has flying. Pay 2 and tap. Return target equipment or vehicle card from your graveyard to your hand. Recursion is nice, but recursion is not crazy. It's quite limited. You're usually not doing shenanigans with sacrificing equipment or vehicles. But cost reduction in the command zone, a little bit of evasion on a potential Voltron commander, not bad. There's also weird equipment combo lines that you can do, so Sid might be some weird, fun equipment combo commander.
Yeah, it sucks that like the flying obviously doesn't extend to any equipment. Equipment, yes, but vehicle he has. So him having flying is just like nice. It's like a nice thing, but you're probably trying to make this a vehicle commander. Although maybe the equipment packages may be better for him actually. If he has flying and you can get over on them, depending on what your loadout is. In mono white, you have all the tutors for equipment as well, so you can be fairly consistent with this package. I think if you're playing this casually, you'll go vehicles. If you're trying to play this more hardcore, then you're going to go with equipment. But I don't see this like breaking any new ground or anything like that. I do like that we went with Final Fantasy VII Sid, though. To be honest, it is the most memorable Sid. Okay.
Next, we have a Cyan Kane. I don't know how to pronounce this. Vengeful Samurai.
Ooh, we're going to skip down for a second here. Wait. I think we might... Cyan?
Yeah, I don't know. Cyan, sure. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that name.
Yeah, that's it.
So Cyan, Vengeful Samurai. 6 and a white for a legendary creature human samurai with 3 power and 3 toughness. This spell costs 1 less for each creature card in your graveyard. Double strike. Whenever 1 or more creature you control leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Cyan. Self-cost reducing, good keyword, and weird graveyard shenanigans.
Yeah, the graveyard business I don't get. Are we trying to play Agatha's Soul Cauldron? What's going on?
You can do White Reanimator.
Yeah,
in casual, there's definitely enough good white reanimation effects that you can set an engine, Sun Titan, what's it called? It's my favorite random tech card. Pulse Mage Advocate. Stuff like that. Random things that will just incidentally get stuff from your graveyard into play. It'll buff Cyan. You just do good tempo creatures early, let people board wipe you, and then play Cyan and try to close.
Yeah, what we got a lot of mono white from this set. This is probably one of it's lower on the tier list for me here. I like the Cloud the most so far. I would say Sid's even maybe a little bit better. Sid comes down a lot faster. That's for sure. This is fine. You get to use that one sword that cares about your commander being a samurai. How about that?
Yeah. You can also do the +1/+1 counter synergy stuff. And heck, even if you want to ignore the whole reanimator strat, fill up your graveyard and keep playing your commander back for 1 mana and it's a 3/3 double strike. Good enough.
Yeah, I mean,
you board wipe me, I pay 1, he's back.
Yeah, maybe like a artifact creature strategy. Like there's a lot of ways to sacrifice those and get value. So maybe there's like a artifacts creature sub strategy here for whatever it's worth. Cyan works with Terra's ability. Well, we'll pass Terra in a few, but good call out, Jacob. Edgar?
Yeah, Terra's going to be a while. But next is Edgar, Master Mechanist. 2 a red and white for a legendary creature, human artificer noble with 2 power and 4 toughness.
Yeah, there's your noble.
Your turn.
There's the noble. I knew
yeah, there's the noble. You may cast an artifact spell from your graveyard. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters the battlefield tapped.
Damn
Tools.
it.
Whenever this attacks, it gets +X/+0 until the end of the turn, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control.
You look like an idiot casting Grim Monolith that way. What are you doing? That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool effect on a dude. Artifacts entering tapped. I mean, if you cast it this way, so like your other shit's fine, but this is interesting. This is really interesting. What's the big thing you bring back? I mean, is there you could only do it what you can only
Mesmeric
do it once per
Orb
turn.
or Basalt Monolith. Mill your entire deck, then get the thing from your graveyard into play. I don't know what the thing is, but there has to be the thing.
No,
your graveyard.
You just have Savine's Reclamation, right? And you bring back any sort of angle with like Fishbowl. Like you could recast Fishbowl and then do infinite. Wait. You could do this in mono white too, but it's not made easy. Having this in the CZ is quite good though. Any like you were saying, any self mill strategy. And then once you do that, Savine's Rec is maybe like the big play. You bring back a blasting station and what is a repeatable creature line? Oh shit, you can even do Leonin Relic Warder now with the pre-war formalware, right?
Oh yeah, that's...
There you go.
Well, let's see. So you can get if you set this up properly, you can do it without needing Savine's Reclamation, but Savine's Reclamation is a better option. Obviously.
He just makes it super clean. Yeah, you're gonna have it. You're gonna have it in the deck anyways. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Interesting card. Next.
Damn, we're over him already. I like him. I like him a lot.
It's very straightforward. It's play artifacts from your graveyard and get big power. Like it's once you are like, hey, what are the graveyard things we can do with this color with artifacts? That.
Yeah, I don't even think we really care about the second ability, but yeah, you're right. I mean, he just hits big for you playing artifacts, and then you benefit.
I'm sorry, Patrick. What if I want to play Draco and hit for 18?
I mean, you could be that guy, I guess. It's kind of cool, actually. Oh shit, that is. Wait, if you bring back pre-war, how does pre-war formalware work again? Does it have to be a character?
Bring back target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield that costs 3 or less, and then give it +2/+2.
Okay.
And equip it.
Excalibur, you say? Bring back Excalibur?
True. Yeah, that is probably the way to go because Excalibur is going to be free.
Yeah, just give him Indestructible and then do World Slayer. How about that?
Also a thing you could do. That is something you could do very easily, actually.
Yeah.
And then you just play a Elixir of Immortality from your graveyard after doing that whole setup and shuffle everything back in. And rats, you're all dying.
Oh,
there's a lot of funny, dumb things that you can do.
Next card.
Elena, Turk Recruiter. 2 and a white for a legendary creature, human assassin with 1 power and 4 toughness. When Elena enters, return target non-assassin historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a historic spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Elena. Um, Interesting. ETB recur a historic, probably something that you could do with Tashar here, but as a commander herself, not really anything particular as far as I can think of.
Elena, wait, I had to look this up. So when I get my news, it's usually about the kind of nonsense that's happening in the White House. But I did not hear about the mile-wide tornado that hit North St. Louis today. I just looked it up. Yeah, I don't have a way or a link for you to donate, but you should look into this. And if you feel like it's something you want to help, then please donate to a reputable organization. But no, good call out there.
Yeah,
I think
I was in the outskirts of that storm, so I hope everybody who's caught in the actual heavy side of it is all right and agree. If you have the ability to donate, find a reputable place to donate and donate if you are willing.
Mm-hmm. But no, thank you for bringing that up. Elena Turk recruit. So, to be honest, I don't remember Elena in the game. Enters target non-assassin historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, I'm not too high on this, but she gets really big.
Yeah, theoretically do Cheerio stuff.
Yeah, feels like a lot of these cards could have used partner. Yup.
Yeah,
honestly, or partners with some of them at least.
Or if they did one of the weird partner things like Friends Forever, like the things that aren't actual partners but partners. Because that's what I want. I want more partner effects that are their own separate pools, because that just gives people the ability to do a lot of crazy things.
I'm okay on this card.
Yeah, good in the 99 of specifically Tashar.
Yeah. Target non-assassin.
Next is S9. 2 a white and a black for a legendary creature elf warrior with 3 power and 3 toughness. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this and it gains flying until the end of the turn. At the beginning of your second main phase, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of your opponents who were dealt combat damage by this or a dragon this turn. Weird Timna.
Right. Without being 3 mana. Good stat line. Yeah. No, I'm with you. As the number of opponents who are dealt combat damage by Estian, specifically, or a dragon. Really weird Timna. Super narrow Timna. Just play Timna.
Yeah, just play Timna.
We also got a new Timna, didn't we? Like a really good looking one.
Yeah, I think we probably got a partner
art. So good. It's so good. Yeah, just play Timna.
Yeah, Mateus, if you run this over Timna in an Agila deck, you are doing it wrong. I don't care that this is a warrior.
Bad Timna though. Timna warrior. I mean, sure. Yeah, you know what? We're wrong. You're right. You should play. I hope you do that. I hope you play this. It would help. It would help my win rate against you. Let's do. That's not even true. I feel like this would probably still be fine in the deck. But no, realistically, Timna is just a better card in the CZ, we should say. FanDaniel?
FanDaniel!
Something tells me we didn't talk about FanDaniel yet.
Yeah, he is not Daniel, but he is a fan of Daniel.
Oh, yes.
4 and a black for a legendary creature, elf wizard with 4 power and 5 toughness.
Elder wizard.
Elf wizard.
You're reading your own... it's Elder wizard. What are you talking about, elf wizard?
I am so sorry. The weird thing is, this is one that I saw and talked with friends where I'm like, hey, yeah, isn't this the first non-raced but subtyped wizard we've gotten? Because we have, what's his name? Arcanus. We have Arcanus, who's just a wizard, and Vivi, who's just a wizard, but this is an elder wizard. An elder what? I don't know. But he's a wizard.
Yeah. Which means he's bipedal, apparently. Looks like a human.
I don't know why I am mixing up and dyslexicing a whole bunch of stuff today, but Ugh.
No, you're good. You're good. I like Mateus says he says Fandango every time he sees this card. I see that too.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, surveil 1 at the beginning of your end step, each opponent may sacrifice a non-token creature of their choice. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard.
Ah.
You get shocked like 10 times in a row on one turn. That kills someone. By the time that this enters the battlefield, it is probably already dealing 10 in one turn. And then if you just mill after that, you're probably killing the turn after. Very good commander, probably bracket 4, but
yeah,
vicious.
Grizzly, I'm with you on, obviously we would want this to be lower cost. Imagine if it was 3 mana, like you just Dark Ritual. You just Dark Ritual and you're there.
3 mana would be crazy. It's a Dragon Rage channeler, but kills people.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know. I feel like maybe 5 feels like a lot, but I feel like in black you can get there pretty easily, especially because a majority of this is colorless. So it's not like it's difficult to get to. Even your land base can help you get there, like Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, Mana Vault. You're going to use all of the artifacts, ritual ramp, and you can just push this guy out. Obviously, only instants and sorceries are really what we care about. But this is such an interesting, I'm not going to say it's instant sorcery tribal, but you're going to be spell slinging in mono black for the bottom effect of this card, which is kind of cool, honestly. Do you use damn it, what's it, there's a lot of really interesting cost reducers in this color. Is it called Bloodthirst? What is the black enchantment
that of the one that's
you have to sacrifice
non-creatures cost 2 less, but when you cast them you have to sack a creature?
Right, correct. But you would need like a token generator. There's a whole sub strategy to that. It wouldn't cleanly work. But, I like this a lot. I don't disagree with you. I feel like this is pretty high powered for mono black, and mono black doesn't really get many outs like this. This feels really powerful.
And also, if you copy triggers, was it the freaking tuning fork thing that people combo with Paradox Engine? Blanking on the name.
Strionic Resonator?
Strionic Resonator, or like Roaming Throne, or anything like that. Mix that with FanDaniel, and then you just go, oh, by the way, sack 3 things. Every time you don't sack, take 20. So you have to sack at least 2 things or you're dead.
Right. It's interesting. It forces them to sack a creature, depending on who you're going up against. Like, there's a lot of people that could probably avoid this, but if the game drags on...
Well, if the game drags on, you board wipe, reanimate, and then they die.
Fact, yeah. You probably just want to, like, rip the board anyways. If this was an Orzop, man, this would be so much easier to achieve, too.
Oh my gosh, if this is an Orzop, it'd be great. If you add any color to this, disgusting.
Yeah, no, this feels balanced to be monocolored. And the cost does, I still agree with you, the cost does feel a little high, but I don't hate it.
Well, speaking of balanced monocolor, we have a Freya Crescent. 1 red for legendary creature, Rat Knight, with 1 power and 1 toughness. Jump during your turn. Freya has flying.
Yeah.
Tap, add a red, spend this to cast an equipment or activate the ability of equipment. I'm just going to point out another 1-drop red commander for those decks that care about legendaries and those decks that care about red pips. Talking to you, Clive.
Mox Amber. Yeah. I mean, you've got Mox Amber online immediately, and then you can spend it to cast an equipment spell.
Yeah, it's an immediate dork for your equipment decks. So there are some decks that'll run this. It's also an evasive creature, which is equally as useful for equipment decks. Mm-hmm. So this is going to tech into the 99 of a lot of random bracket 2, bracket 3 decks.
Does this go into Godo? I know it doesn't help cast Godo, but the cost
it pays
reduction
for the equip cost, so it pays for part of the 11.
Yeah, it's kind of
the only thing is, like, if you're going for a Flicker or something like that, it doesn't pay for any of that. It's only if you're going for the pay 11 line.
Yeah.
And a lot of people work to get around that. So maybe. I think no, but maybe.
I just want to point out that it's a 1 mana dork in red, and these are far and few between. We've got a dork, way older dork. I think that's 3 mana or 2 mana. It's way up there. It's not very good. Something Sister. This is kind of a unique card. I really like it. I don't know that it needs to be in the command zone, but if it were, it's still a really fun strategy. We're kind of breaking the color barrier here with like the kind of things we're doing in the CZ. I like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning art on Freya here. Or... Sorry, continue.
Next, though, we have Gata and Luza.
Luzu?
Luza? Luzu?
Let's go with Luza.
Luza.
He's not a loser. He's a winner.
Indeed, 2 and white for legendary creature, human soldier with 1 power, 1 toughness, and flash. When this enters, choose target creature you control. If damage would be dealt to that creature this turn, prevent that damage, and put that many +1/+1 counters on it. If this is in your command zone, you are spoiling the surprise. Very interesting in the 99, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just to comment on Mateus's note. Yeah, I didn't. What was the red dork we got? I know we have like Chandra's cat is one, and then there's the sisters. This is new. Obviously, things like Ragavan kind of count, but you're making a treasure as opposed to just solidly producing mana, which is like a pro or a con.
Making a treasure is better.
Yeah. Or sometimes it's a negative. Obviously, if your opponent has things that stifle treasures or whatever. It's interesting to see, I guess, is all I'm really getting at. But Flash, enters well, field checker. What do you think?
Good in the 99, bad in the command zone. It's vigor 1 time on something, which can be really good in off color. Oh, imagine doing that with like Walking Ballista. You're like, I block with my 1/1 Walking Ballista. Oh, yeah. You attacked with freaking Gulpa or something? Okay. 12 +1/+1 counters on this.
Well, that's what Jacob's saying. Hardened Scales and Walking Ballista with him. Yeah, I kind of dig that, actually. I mean, it has flash, and if it's in the command zone, it's pretty obvious, right? You're just like...
No. Yeah, because he's saying if you have Walking Ballista ping itself, it prevents that damage and gives it 2 +1/+1 counters. Repeat. Okay, so there's combos here. Is there white hardened scales?
No, it's on ETB though. So ETB,
it's on ETB, choose
target
a creature, and then until the end of the turn.
If it would deal damage to this creature, if damage would be dealt to this creature, so the ballista minimally needs to be a 3/3, right? So you could take one off, do 1 damage.
No, 2/2, because it removes 1, pings itself, prevents the damage, and then gains 2 counters.
Oh, facts. Yeah. We don't have to worry about it dying. Huh.
There is a combo here. Okay.
Fair enough. Hardened Scales
is in green.
Doesn't
there's a white variant of Hardened Scales.
Yeah, but I like that. Both are in the precon. Oh, it comes with the precon with this guy. Duly noted. Sunset Strike Master. Is this like is this what you're referring to that would work with this? No, Sunset Strike Master. This is the 2-mana dork. Yeah, I really like that we're shifting this way. I feel like red could use more of this. Because they kind of got the ass end of a lot of effects, but I like that it's getting rep like this. Yeah, for the turn. Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I read this as just like an interesting combat trick, but we need not a token doubler, but a counter doubler. I don't know that it's still that good, but I like this because you do have tutors for artifacts in white, consistently getting to the stage where you can just rip and roar, and this seems cooler than Heliod. This seems cooler than Heliod. I just want to point out that I like this more than Heliod.
You don't have to pay the 2. You can do it at instant speed. The only difference between this and Heliod is Find Ballista game. This is Find Ballista and one other thing game. So it's worse Heliod, but it's very interesting. So I do still like it. Anyways, Gao, Feral Youth. 1 in a red for a legendary creature, human berserker with +2/+2, or with 2/2 and rage. Whenever Gao attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, Gao deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Punches very hard, really good Voltron commander, because not only do you hit somebody with high power, but then you also burn everybody for high power if you have any way of removing cards from your graveyard on your turn.
Underworld Breach?
Yeah, Underworld Breach, any flashback effect, any random what's it called? Exile target card from a graveyard effect. Like there's a million different ways to make this trigger every single turn. And fun fact, it does not say at the beginning of your end step. It is at the beginning of each end step. So if this is like an 8/8, you can deal 32 damage in one rotation. Brutal. Love it. I want to build it in casual. Great card.
Yeah, this seems pretty sick, actually. Um, the fact that it is each end step means that it's a constant threat. You do need something to do with your graveyard, but like really, what could you do? What is a reputable way of having something leave your graveyard? Like that's like attached to an artifact. Like, is there?
There's a lot of one cost artifacts that just say target player exile something from the graveyard.
Right, some shit like that. Scrabbling Claws, is that one? Or
Scrabbling Claws is one. There's also
the one with the lion on it. The lion, the Wooburg Dragon.
Yeah, like white, black, green, red.
I don't remember. Progenitus?
Maybe?
Progenitus?
Yes, Relic of Progenitus. Relic of Progenitus is the 1-mana thing that just says tap target player, exile something from their grave.
Yeah, I mean, even that's fine. Like, if I'm gonna lightning bolt all of you, please, yeah, I'll lose a card from my graveyard for that. This is really cool. I actually really like the Feral Youth.
Oh yeah, Gao with Squee is funny.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Just
because that's just on upkeep, so it always triggers on your turn as long as you can keep getting Squee in there.
Oh, that's gnarly. I mean, just gamble, right? Squee will get there. Squee will do the rest. All right.
General Leo, 4 and white for a legendary creature, human soldier with 2 power and 2 toughness.
If you ever wondered what I want for my birthday, it's this. It's this jacket this man's wearing. If you ever want to get me a gift,
he looks fabulous.
He looks fabulous.
Return up to 1 target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then put 2+1/+1 counters on this for each creature you control. Man, if a Weenies commander didn't exist before, one exists now. Reanimate your favorite thing and then have him enter with like 20 counters on him because you're playing a token deck or Weenie deck.
Yeah.
He can get very big. The only thing is, like, a board wipe takes you out of the game. There's some white creatures that cost 3 or less that can build a board by themselves, though. Like, what's the thing from Midnight Hunt? Arlane or something like that.
And you also have, like, the Monastery Mentor, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's plenty of low-cost things that will be able to make tokens. The issue is that you need to have this die or flicker this so that it can re-enter after you reanimate the thing.
Yeah, Monastery Mentor, Prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Yeah, shit like this would be great. There's also this dope-looking one. Sorry.
But General Leo, cool commander, a little bit overcosted, but he theoretically is very good.
Not as good as Squall, but we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Sorry. You print this in the same set you print a fucking better Sun Titan. Like, it's hard. It's kind of hard. It's hard to compare. Gilgamesh?
Next is a Go-Go, Mysterious Mime.
Did we do Gilgamesh? You're so right. We're on Go-Go.
Yeah, we've covered Gilgamesh. We've covered Gladios. Go-Go's next. Legendary creature wizard. Just wizard. It's part of the Arcanus family.
Right.
2 power and 2 toughness. Actually, also, can I really quickly point out, shouldn't be wizard, it should be mime. He has this job in his name right there.
Yeah. On, is mime a subtype we have?
It's not, but it should be. Clown is a subtype.
Well, isn't mime just a form of clown?
Exactly.
So he should be a clown.
Exactly.
Just clown.
At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have this become a copy of another target creature you control until the end of the turn, except its name is still its name. If you do this and that creature each get +2/+0 in haste until end of turn, and attack this turn if able. Interesting copy effect. Punches a little bit harder and gives haste. Don't hate it.
Is there a crazy Kiki Jiki, Freaky Jiki, something similar Jiki line of play here?
Not as far as I know. I think the biggest utility of this is going to be the fact that it's a clone effect in red that lets you break the legend rule because it keeps its name. But that's usually better in the 99 than in the command zone.
This is why Grizzly says a Tali card.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Very much so, yes.
I'm going to go with you on that. Graha! We discussed Graha, Tia, I thought.
We discussed Graha. Next is Haidiger.
Haidiger. This asshole.
Shinra Executive.
Yeah.
So 3 and a white for a legendary creature human soldier with 3 power and 3 toughness. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains +X+O until the end of the turn, where X is the number of soldiers you control. At the beginning of your end step, create a number of 1/1 white soldier creature tokens equal to the number of opponents who control more creatures than you. Make something bigger, make a little bit of a board, maybe sack some creatures so that you guarantee that you always have less than other people and keep making more things. Okay.
I spelled battalion 5 ways wrong. Battalion with Go-Go is good. It doesn't trigger a Tali, though. Now Najila. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, true. I mean, to be fair, Go-Go becoming a copy of Najila, sure. And giving Najila haste.
Is that bad? That's pretty good. That's okay. Yeah, honestly, new Najila card unlocked. At the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1.
To be fair, Go-Go will probably go in like a lot of random decks that care about their commanders but aren't in blue. Like Rakdos, Hired Muscle. You can put this in there, and then when you sack something, you exile double that thing's CMC. Not bad. But next we have.
So I had no real feelings on this guy. He's an ass in the game. And,
yeah.
Looks like an ass here.
Next we have a Hermes, Overseer of Ilpis, 3 in blue, legendary creature, Elder Wizard, another Elder Wizard, not a human, just old guy. I'm old wizard.
Yeah.
Old human wizard? Nah, just old.
No.
Concept of age.
No, mother. I was born in the ether. I just came out of a magical hoo-ha, and now I'm here with my birds.
First time that somebody said, man, that guy looks old, I just popped into existence.
Yeah, I've been an elder ever since day one.
I look super young for some freaking reason, even though I'm an elder, but...
Yeah. And I look tall when I'm seated, but I'm actually only 5'3".
Indeed. All my height is in the chest.
Everything.
No, none in the legs.
Everything's deception with me.
Call me Baby Legs Hermes.
I have stilts on under this robe. Yeah. All right.
2 power, 4 toughness. When you cast a non-creature spell, make a 1/1 bird token with flying and vigilance. Whenever you attack with 1 or more birds, scry 2.
Okay, we spent way too much time on the guy that... Is this...
I mean, to be fair, he makes a lot of birds very quickly and can probably do some weird janky storm stuff and some dumb things with the Skull Clamp, because it's not instant or sorcery, it's non-creature. So play that Lotus Petal Clamp, do another thing clamp, do another thing clamp. Like, he goes in a lot of decks. He definitely goes in the Chocoo deck. He goes in a couple different things.
I was gonna say, is this better Talran? Like, I was literally thinking that, Jacob, when you said that. I'm like, is this better Talran? You make 2/2 blue drakes. Honestly, like Will was saying, having 1/1s is pretty legit. Goes well with Valley Floodcaller, but you would need to get the birds to make the mana. Honestly, like, you trigger this way more. Are we too quick to judge Hermes?
Hey, I said Hermes is good. I said that I like Hermes, unironically. Like, good commander.
Have you seen the new Skull Clamp? Have I seen the new Skull Clamp? Stop. Wait. Let me guess what it is.
I think that's Tarkir. I think there's a Skull Clamp in Tarkir.
Oh, no.
I think that is what it's being referred to.
No, there's a Final Fantasy one.
Oh, there is a Final Fantasy one. Oh.
Oh.
There you go, Patrick.
No, I hadn't. This makes me very happy. My mother's name is Genova. The Genova Project. Is this just a coincidence? Nah, dude. Um, that's sick. I was wondering if we were gonna get like some form of. Do we have another? Is Genova in the game yet? Wait.
I don't know.
No, it's not. Okay. That's yeah, mommy clamp, dude. Man, Genova, she looks pretty young here too. I'm not gonna say for being a tube. There's some really really good skull clamps. The one I own is holy shit. What the hell is that? I didn't know there's a tattoo skull clamp. Okay, that's not the one I own. I have the Metal Gear Solid Artist skull clamp because it's sick as fuck. But I didn't know about the Genova one. Thank you for pointing that out. I want it now. Comes in the cloud precon. Duly noted. Okay. Well,
anyways,
that's maybe the only reason to buy the cloud precon, sadly.
True, indeed. We have Haidiger First Brood.
4
and a blue legendary creature, Elder Dragon. First Elder in a long time that actually has a racial tag on it.
Yeah, I guess.
Flying Vigilance Ward 2, Shiva's Aid. 5/5 Flying Vigilance Ward 2. Shiva's Aid, whenever this enters or whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature you control gains +1/+0 and cannot be blocked this turn.
Ninjutsu?
I mean, sure, like maybe ninjutsu stuff, but more likely it's not going to be played.
Oh, what? Oh, is that? But it. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not Hermes. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's an expensive hound.
Yeah, Interceptor, Shadow's Hound.
Mm-hmm. Look how cute that back leg is. Look how cute those back legs are.
Indeed. Moving so fast they just dangle in the air. Yeah. 2 black legendary creature dog, 4 power, 3 toughness, and menace. Assassins you control have menace. Whenever you attack with 1 or more legendary creatures, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your battlefield, tapping and attacking. Weird legendary travel commander. This can go in a lot of different decks. This could theoretically be its own commander, but a self-reviving thing if you control your commander is always really good for an additional punch.
Not horrible.
This goes in the 99 of a lot of sack decks too, like Grebin, things like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Very cute. What is this breed of dog?
I should know this.
Pincer, something pincer. What is it? They're like very well. They're usually raised as guard dogs. They're very loving animals and very family oriented. Apparently, one of the best dogs to train. Is it like a German pincer or something? Am I just putting German in it because of that? Doberman pincer. Thank you. Like Sephiroth, yeah. Doberman. So cute. God, I want a dog so bad. All right.
Speaking of dogs, this one's my dog, Jetch Guardian. 3 and a black for legendary creature, human warrior, 4 power, 3 toughness, and menace. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, exile and return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. The transformed side is Braska's Final Aeon. It is a saga, or it's a legendary creature, Saga Nightmare. 7 power, 7 toughness, and menace. Ability 1. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. Ability 2. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. Ability 3. Each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. This is going to be a very annoying card for people to deal with because you just keep playing them, keep flipping them, and then keep punching with a 7/7 menace while murdering your opponent's hand and murdering your opponent's board.
Yeah, the flip requirement is really easy.
Yeah, it's connect with a menace creature, and then the second time that you flip it, they sack 2 things, so somebody probably doesn't have any blockers.
Oh,
the only unfortunate thing is it does not flip back like all the other ones. But hey, you get Hex Parasite into play, and you can do the Saga shenanigans where you just keep flipping between different chapters and then make people suffer by never sacking this.
Oh, I love that. It's also just a 7/7 beater that's making you discard while you draw. There's some good value here, man.
Yeah, a very good card, very
Yeah.
dumb commander. It's going to make people very annoyed.
Yeah, I'd be curious to build this one out. Isn't this Titus's dad in the game? I forget. Jekt.
I do not know.
That's okay. He's pretty badass though. That's sick. Good card.
Next, though, we have Kefka, but not that Kefka. It's Kefka Dancing Mad.
Mm.
5 of black and a red for a legendary creature, human wizard with 6 power and 6 toughness. During your turn, Kefka is indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, exile a card at random from each opponent's graveyard. You may cast any number of spells from among the exiled cards this way without paying their mana cost. Then, each player who owns a spell that was cast this way loses life equal to that mana cost. Or equal to that spell's mana value. I want to say, mix in all of those target exile effects from graveyards. You can make it so that you just get the best thing out of somebody's graveyard every single time. You can choose not to cast the cards, and then they'll stay in exile. So inevitably, you're getting to the point where you cast a tutor, a board wipe, and then some stupid value thing over and over and over and over and over again, and no one can have a board, and you're just burning people to the ground. Really strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean 7 mana is high. It's a tall order. Rakdos for this is fine. It seems good to me. I mean, both Kefkas are great. I'm a huge fan of the Court Mage. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty good card.
Yeah. Very, very fun version. It's going to be a lot more casual than the other Kefka, and honestly, I kind of like that, because the other Kefka is going to be brutal to play against in the casual table.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite art for him too, as well. So, like, it's just gonna be fun to look at and play. I'm not gonna. I really enjoy when my legendaries are like done well, like art wise, and this Kefka looks sick as hell. Fun fact: the cast cards goes back to the graveyard is busted. Yeah,
you just the fact that the cast cards go back to the graveyard is busted. Yeah, so dumb. Next is a Kamari. 2, a green and a blue for legendary creature Cat Warrior with 3 power, 3 toughness, and vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this, and tap target creature and opponent controls. Then, you may have this become a copy of that creature, except it keeps its name, vigilance, and this ability. Weird dancing clone that gets rid of blockers.
Yeah, that's also buffing itself. I mean, like, its value is really going to be dependent on what your opponents are playing, but I mean, like, you just copy a Timna and I don't know. This isn't horrible, but it really is dependent on what you're playing against.
I will say you always get to tap the creature, and you can choose not to have it transform into the creature, and it stays as that creature, period. So you can just keep picking like the best commander in play, and then tap a blocker and keep getting through. +1/+1 counter synergy stuff does exist, so that's the thing.
I like it. No, he's pretty good. I mean, he'll become a 4/4 on the same turn he's played, provided you play main phase 1, and you get to tap something down immediately. Like, this isn't horrible, especially if you're taking something that has value as soon as it comes down. Like, I don't know. Obviously, the sky's the limit with this, but that's just it. Like, you really don't know what you have the ability to copy. And like Will said, like, one thing does not rely on the other. You could just tap the thing down and get +1/+1 counters and be happy. So, I like it a lot. It seems like a decent high-powered thing.
Yeah.
So it's not horrible.
Next is a Cryle, a white and a blue for a legendary creature, dwarf wizard with 2 power, 1 toughness, lifelink, and trace Aether. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may return target creature card with mana value equal to that spell's mana value from your graveyard to your hand. Do this once each turn. Note, you may choose to return a thing, and then do once each turn, meaning that you can choose not to, then choose to do it if you cast like a 1-cost spell and you wanted S% back. So they worded it in a way where you can choose not to until you get the right CMC.
I like it.
This is going to be a disgusting stacks commander because all of your stacks will keep coming back over and over and over again, and you can trigger this on your opponent's turn so you can get back 4 stacks pieces every single turn. Love it. This is going to be so annoying to play against, but I love it. Play all of the rule of laws, play all of the counter spells.
Yeah, I mean, the Deafening Silence is very easy to get back to him. It's not bad. And your stacks pieces trigger this. So.
Yep.
Well, provided they aren't like hate bears. But yeah.
And we had Kuja already, we had Lightning already. We didn't have other Lightning, so let's talk about Lightning Security Sergeant.
Other Lightning. Yeah, by the way, Army of One, really good. Thanks for pointing that out, guys. It's pretty decent.
Yeah. 2 in a red for a legendary creature, human soldier with 2 power, 3 toughness, and menace. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card as long as you control lightning. That's draw each turn on a menace body. I think there's another red commander that does the same, makes itself bigger though, but doesn't have menace. But dealing combat damage does mean that you can stack this up with like extra combats and double strike, but just play the 4-cost Neheb. If you want to draw things in red, play the 4-cost Neheb. That makes mana and loots through your deck.
Yeah. It's not like it's disruption. You're not taking something off the top of their deck like you would with Ragavan.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Next we have a Loke Treasure Hunter.
The Lock.
1 black and red for a legendary creature, human rogue with 2 power and 3 toughness. Loke cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power, and Mug whenever this attacks each player mills a card. If a land is milled this way, create a treasure. Until the end of the turn, you may cast a spell from among those cards.
Huh.
Weird cast from graveyard synergy stuff, make treasure synergy stuff, a little bit of mill. Cool.
Each player, you 2, right? So there's 4 opportunities to make a treasure, and you have that total pool of cards to cast from.
Yep, and also if you mill something you want to reanimate or something, you can fill your graveyard with this.
Yeah. Sadly, this is not on damage, right? So you can't double strike this. You could you trigger this again with the 1 walking guy?
Roaming Throne?
Roaming Throne?
Yeah, you could. I will say, 3 mana, make a treasure every turn and fill your graveyard slowly. Not bad as like a random ad nauseam and Underworld Breach deck. It's okay. CDH, it's weirdly okay, but not great. Casual, once again, weirdly okay, but not great.
It's a cool card. It's really good value. I like it. I like it a lot.
Next, we have Lord Giskel.
Giskel.
We have Giskel is 1 and a white for a legendary creature, spirit cleric with 2 power, 1 toughness, and flying. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on a creature you control, or on a creature this turn, investigate. That can theoretically draw a good amount of cards throughout the game.
Yeah. Well, you're going to pay quite a bit to make that dream come true, but yeah.
Yeah. As a casual commander, this is not a bad way to draw cards in white. It's not a bad way to make artifacts to KCI in white. Tishar is still better, but
yeah. Lord Giskel.
Not horrible.
I like that these are each end step. So yeah, like if you're manipulating counters off turn, then sure, it's okay.
Speaking of horrible, let's take the word horrible in a different direction with Lulu, 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, human wizard with 2 power and 3 toughness. Whenever an opponent attacks you, choose target creature attacking you and put a stun counter on that creature. Also, you can pay 3 and a blue to proliferate. That thing is never untapping. Ever.
No.
It is staying there. It is going to be tapped for all time.
Yeah, so sorry, just so far as logistical is concerned, yeah, it's definitely a 99er. I think it's probably going to be beneficial in the body of some decks, but I feel like there's better draw engines, even in Abzan. You know what I mean? So that's a tricky call. Horrible for your opponents, yeah.
Yeah.
Lulu, fan favorite, Final Fantasy X. Check it out if you haven't yet. Always,
I will say Lulu as a Super Friends commander will make Jace stupidly dumb because as long as you're proliferating once a turn, eventually no one will be attacking your planeswalkers, and then you just keep doing things until you ult.
she's good. I like this. This is kind of a, again, like not your typical blue commander. Obviously, we've had things that play around with stun counters. I like this quite a bit. What's the other game plan for proliferate, if anything?
Theoretically poison counter stuff, theoretically +1/+1 counters,
Mm-hmm.
or just random assortment of counters in general, like storage lands.
I dig it. I'm a fan of Lulu. Again, we're not really going to rank these, but she seems playable. I'd say probably
Yeah.
more in a casual setting.
Next is
But
Liz Hext.
wait, but really quick, is this better than Spider-Man?
Um, this probably goes in Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's like a weird setup card. Spider-Man's a different kind of beast. Lulu is better in the fact that it's just a fog commander.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out radiation counters. Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Theoretically, yes. My only issue with radiation counters is I think you can lose a lot of counters in one go. So there's a decent chance someone loses all of their radiation, and then you have to give them radiation by another source, which sounds horrible out of context. I just give them radiation.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Liz Hext, 1, a white and a blue, for legendary creature, human rebel monk with 2 power, 2 toughness, prowess, and non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less this turn, or cost 1 less to cast. As long as you cast 2 or more non-creature spells this turn, Liz has double strike.
Super cool.
There's that one Jeskai legendary that you talked about like last stream when we were talking about Tarkir, Patrick, and yeah, this is that, except you don't have to pay to get double strike, and there's cost reduction built in.
Why not?
Yeah. Hey, if you have any cantrip, you just keep replaying that Sensei's Divining Top off the top for free to trigger prowess an additional time.
It's pretty good, man. This feels pretty good. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. My gosh. So you're probably going to strap a aura or something onto her and really go to town. Like, you could punch pretty hard here. 2 or more spells, that's it? 2 or more non-creature spells?
Yeah, that's not hard. That is not hard.
Nah, this is pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. I just want to see the full art. This looks really dope. New one punch. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, Jacob. You could kind of make it that way. Sorry.
Next is Meister Seymour, 2 in a green for a 1/3 legendary creature, human elf cleric. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put +1/+1 counters on this equal to. +1/+1 counters equal to this creature's power onto another creature you control. 3 green, monstrous X, where X is the number of counters among creatures you control. Get more counters on more things, spread the counters around so you're going wide and going tall at the same time. Say more, say less.
Yeah, I mean, on top of the fact that you're in green, so it's not like you don't have the buff spells to just make this really potent. And you could work around the trigger, like trigger on the stack, buff, say more, spread the love. Like, this feels like a really cool beat strategy in these colors. And obviously, you could attach auras and equipment to this to also get that buff going as well, or any sort of anthem effect. It's cool. Yeah, it's also elf. It's also elf too. Like, you can kind of do like an elf
in all
thing.
The hardened scale type of things, all the your things enter with counters, style effects, just incidental counters, and then inevitably, you monstrous, he gains 10 counters because you have 10 counters on things, and then he puts 10 more counters on something else. Mix in, like, what is it, the 3 mana thing that doubles the number of +1/+1 counters you put on things? He gets 20 and he puts 40 on something. Like, dang. Just dang.
He can one-shot Simic Ascendancy?
He can one-shot.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. It's almost like Tifa. Probably better than Tifa? I don't know. Our build was fine. Again, like everything we do is pretty much a blueprint. I like that deck, but it did not perform the way I wanted to. Land of War,
I
Loam
think we either
Speaker.
needed to slow the game down or run dorks to be able to ramp into the power matters things, and then just kind of play slower. But
Seymour.
speaking of playing slower, Matoya, Archon Elder, 2 and a blue legendary creature, human warlock with 1 power and 4 toughness. Whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. There are so many 2 CMC things that just say at the beginning of your upkeep, on the end of your turn, when this attacks, when this untaps, tap this to scry or surveil. In addition to the fact that there is a 1-card combo with this. I can't remember the name of it, but I put it in the Discord a while back. Long and short, there's a Sphinx that says when you discard a card or cycle, scry 1. So if you hit hand size with Matoya, which you will very easily do,
You should.
you
should.
get the Sphinx, go to end step, and draw your entire deck.
Don't we have like scrying lands as well? I know there's jewels that scry.
Yeah, there's
the
temples, but they're multicolored. There's like a couple small lands that do ETB scry. There's a couple lands that have a pay some mana, tap this, and scry.
I mean, I honestly feel like those are playable here. Like if I'm playing a land and replacing it, like that feels pretty damn good.
I don't even think I think the like ETB scry ones are fine.
It's just a matter.
Scry ones aren't necessary because
I think
you have so many 2 mana ways to scry and surveil that you're fine. Like you are drawing 10 cards a turn very easily in this.
Okay, so is Matoya its own commander, or are we trying to put this in a 99 of something?
Easily build around this.
This could go into my Elminster deck. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like Matoya, it just feels like a really good value engine. Period. Like scry or surveil, it's kind of dumb. You incorporate black, and you have like a lot of really great surveil cards, really good surveil engines in that color. But in mono blue, like it's again, like Will was saying, it's not difficult to do this every turn, and off turn, and damn, it's really good.
There's also just a handful of creatures that incidentally surveil in the command zone, but you can also just put this in with Thrasios, and then Thrasios double draws.
Yeah, just stupid Thrasios and Papacios with a little extra draw on top. Yeah, it's good. Matoya's good. I'd be curious to brew Matoya and see what we can do, honestly. Like mono blue, I feel like Urza's still like everyone's favorite thing. Am I crazy? What else in mono blue do people care about?
It's Arkham's comeback, but it's primarily still Urza.
This could really take that spot. It's really good. We should try this. It's also just a 1/4. It's like an amazing blocker. You're never going to go sideways. It's
yeah.
Okay,
but who can take the spot of Mog Moogle Warrior? 1 in a red, or 1 a red and a white for a legendary creature Moogle Warrior with 1 power, 2 toughness, and lifelink. Dance. At the beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. Each player who discards a card this way draws a card. If a creature card is discarded this way, you create a 1/2 white Moogle creature token with lifelink. Then, if a non-creature card was discarded this way, put a +1/+1 counter on each Moogle you control. Slowly make a board. At the beginning of your end step, each player may discard a card. It's a may. A lot of people are just going to say no, so it's kind of your end step. Discard a creature, discard a creature, discard a creature, discard non, discard non, discard non. Go wide. You could theoretically collude with people to be like, "Hey, can you let me build a bigger board so I can deal with the problem?" And then accelerate. But yeah, it's.
Is this a do nothing otherwise?
Well, you can discard. You can still do it. It's each player may.
It's a pretty big meh for me.
Yeah, agreed. This is a card that we've covered, but I did just want to bring up a thing on stream. We brought up it during the Tifa stream, but I wanted to at least bring this up for the thing. Noctis. We already covered this before, so I'm not going to reread him. But we brought up a combo with Aetherflux, Reservoir, Hex Parasite, and sacrificing Lotus Petal or something. you can simplify that down, remove Hex Parasite, and just go Aetherflux and Mox Diamond. Because I did not know that Mox Diamond was errata forever ago, and it does not say ETB, discard a land, or sacrifice this, or as this enters, discard a land or sacrifice this. It says, while you cast this, discard a land or put this card into the graveyard, meaning it never enters the battlefield, never gets the counter, and immediately goes back to the graveyard, so you just keep recasting it for 0 and 3 life in combo with Aetherflux. Good combo. Moving on.
I'm going to put up a poll. Go for it.
Oaka, Traveling Merchant. 1 and a blue for a legendary creature, human citizen with 1 power and 2 toughness. Tap. Remove a counter from a non-land permanent you control. Draw a card. There is a commander that does a similar thing. It's, I think, a 4-mana 4/4 flyer that's or 3-mana 4/4 flyer that says at the beginning of your upkeep, remove a counter from a permanent you control or sacrifice this. This is better. This is 2 mana, remove a counter from a thing and draw a card every single turn. So you can do weird Saga abuse shenanigan things and you can draw for it. So cool.
Yeah. Better Matoya?
Yeah, actually, really quick, I want to check to see if there is an untap Saga. If there is, that is stays tapped. That is stays tapped. Okay, there's no Saga in blue that untaps as part of it. Is there just a Saga in general that untaps as part of it? Nope.
Remove a counter from a non-land permanent you control, draw a card. Yeah, I see what you're trying to go for. If you had a Saga that lets you untap a... If you...
Actually, no, yeah, I guess it could be the... So if you do... No, yeah, because you still have to put a counter back on it somehow. Never mind.
Isochron Scepter lines of play with this? Is there a way you can ISO... Is there an Isochron Scepter line that utilizes an instant that puts a counter on a thing that you can remove, but also puts a counter on a thing and lets you untap a thing?
Yeah, somebody's bringing up Urza Saga. Any Saga with this is good. Urza Saga is the easiest one to do because in response to the last ability you remove the counter, you keep the thing around, so you can get most artifacts out of your deck with Urza Saga. This is just a good Saga-based commander.
Is it the best one?
Maybe. I saw a new Wooburg one in this set that we covered on, but yeah.
We talking about Papa?
Yeah, Papa Lamo. Papa Lamo. White, a black, legendary creature, dwarf wizard with 1 power, 2 toughness. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. You can pay for, tap this, sacrifice this. Each opponent who lost life this turn sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. I want to point out this is damage, not lose life, so yes, you can do Poison Storm.
How do you feel about Freed from the Real on Traveling Merchant?
Yeah, it is a thing. Unfortunately, it's just
not good. It's not.
I wish there was a way that you could loop a Saga with it, but there's not really a way to loop a Saga.
That or Penem Zora. Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Next is Professor. Well, actually, yeah. Papa Lamo. Thoughts, Patrick?
Sorry. Also, there's a Noctis combo, a Chalice at 0, and Aetherflux Reservoir. Fucking Noctis, dude. What do I think about Papa Limo? It's a kill effect on top, and each opponent loses who lost life this turn sacrifices a creature. I don't really care about that. The top effect is good.
Yeah, just a little bit of burn. If you have
what's the combo piece? Stuff. What's the combo piece with it? Deals 1 damage each opponent.
You can do infect.
You could do because the damage is coming from Papa, but also isn't there like a Sanguine Bond setup with this? Am I crazy?
No, because it's when you cast a thing, you deal the damage and you gain the life. Not
it's
when
not just
uses and gains.
Right. Okay. So it'd need to be any sort of line of play where you cast a thing repeatedly.
Yeah. I
Let's
mean, to be fair,
kiss.
that is an outlet in like a couple
Yeah,
different random things, but
yeah.
more so this is just a maybe you do infect kind of commander. Uh Bad Y'shtola.
Bad Y'shtola. But what about Professor Hojo?
One green for a legendary creature, human scientist with 2 power and 2 toughness. The first activated ability you activate during your turn that targets a creature you control costs 2 less to activate. By the way, that is a whole lot of very specific criteria. It's like, no, he doesn't reduce the first activated ability that you activate, or the first activated ability that you activate that targets an opponent's thing. He reduces the cost of the first activated ability you activate that targets a creature you control. Doesn't matter if it targets a land, it has to target a creature you control.
Yeah, not permanent.
And not permanent.
Oh my
Whenever
god.
one or more creatures you control become a target of an activated ability, draw a card. Trigger. This ability triggers only once each turn.
Yeah.
Balanced Nadu.
Yeah, they really dialed it back. They're like, ah, shit. That Final Fantasy said, aren't we working on a Hojo card, kind of like Nadu? Yeah, we gotta curb that shit. Make it as wordy as possible. Make it as useless as possible.
Should we make it the same as that bird commander we printed again? Nah, dude.
Nah, dude, don't do it. Professor Hojo, fine. C minus.
He draws on each of your turns and on each of your opponent's turns if you have other abilities that you could activate on your things. He's honestly a decent draw commander, but like, you can do something with him, but not in CDH.
Zerda companion with who? Zerda the Boros one? Zerda, oh, sorry. I don't know with who we're referring to. Fight spells with ho ho ho. Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah, Hojo does work with fight spells.
It's not bad. Hojo doesn't deserve better anyways. No, he doesn't.
Though, we got Quistis. 2 and a blue.
She deserves.
Legendary creature, human wizard with 2 power and 2 toughness. When this enters, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Sorcery speed snapcaster / grasp of fate from somebody's graveyard.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, probably better in the 99 than as a commander.
Yeah.
Like 3 mana, just yoink your opponent's tutor is not a horrible setup, or yoink somebody's removal spell. The issue is no flash.
Right, that is kind of annoying. Also, was Quistis their teacher in the game? Please refresh my memory.
No idea.
But I remember working pretty hard to get her in Triple Triad from that one guy in the lunch hall. Anyways, I think you could get like Ifrit from him and Quistis.
True, you can draw 3 off of Hojo and Skullclamp.
Yes. We're really trying to make Hojo work. We want to...
I mean, Hojo, the thing is, Hojo does just work because incidentally, he will draw you like maybe 2 to 3 cards per rotation. But yeah, Hojo's his own thing. Next is red. Proud Warrior. 1, a red and a green for a legendary creature, Beast Warrior with 3 power, 3 toughness, vigilance, trample, and other modified creatures you control have vigilance and trample. Cosmo Memory. When red enters, return target aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Last effect is not going to be too relevant, but giving all your modified things vigilance and trample is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like red 13. I don't know. Man. Excellent art, by the way. Excellent art. Red 13's a favorite. I agree with you. The Cosmo Memory is fine. It's not like we're in a color where we can flicker this, and not that effect was even abusable, but yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, just keywording out a lot of your things, making it so that you'll always have blockers, because there's a couple things that say modified creatures you control have trample. This just also gives vigilance, which is pretty nice.
A red 13 is an Agila card. Yes.
He is indeed a warrior.
Riku.
Next, though, is Riku. 2 and a blue, legendary creature, human artificer with 2 power and 3 toughness. Whenever one or more counters or whenever you put one or more counters on a creature, until the end of the turn, that creature cannot be blocked by creatures your opponents control,
Love
as
it.
opposed to creatures you control.
Right.
Actually,
Yeah. No.
no. That is relevant because you can put a counter on your opponent's things to make their things unblockable, but not to you. Never mind. I take back my snark. Next is Steal. Pay 1 and tap. Move a counter from target creature and opponent controls onto target creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can put
Weird.
the counters on your opponent's things and then move them back to your things. So all the things are unblockable.
Yeah. It's weird. It's sorcery speed.
Yeah, it's sorcery speed.
It's fine. They kind of did her
Yeah.
dirty. I'm not gonna lie. Riku's. I feel like she's a fan favorite, and she was my favorite from that game. But I don't feel like this subset of abilities is really that good. I don't know how much counter manipulation happens organically, so you're kind of building for it.
Yeah.
It's
It's the fact
okay.
that you can't just free move counters around. It's always from an opponent's creature onto your creature. I
Right.
would love to abuse that one freaking turtle that puts stun counters on itself so that I can move the stun counters from the turtle onto my opponent's stuff and then proliferate them to high heck.
Yes. Or like that,
But no.
or that octopus that comes in with all the stun counters,
Yep.
and then just like shift those around.
The deep something. Dweller of the Deep.
Yeah, but we're not gonna get that, Will, are we?
Well, yeah, we're not. But what we are going to get is Rosa Resolute White Mage.
Love a white
3 and
mage.
white for legendary creature, human noble cleric with 2 power and 3 toughness and reach. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until the end of the turn.
Ooh. Ooh,
As a
Aerith.
commander, this is a no. In the 99, this is not too bad.
Well, I mean, it gains lifelink until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. This kind of works with the Walking Ballista Heliod Sun Crown line.
Yeah, it gives your things lifelink. If you're running like a Boros burn deck, this can give your gutter snipe lifelink, which is useful. This just giving repeatable lifelink to things is nice. I like that, but I don't think it's good as its own commander.
We're still talking about Hojo? Blue legendary that works with kind of well.
Patrick, nerfed Nadu is still a Nadu.
Yeah, I guess let's guys. The challenge to discuss Hojo is as much as possible. I'm surprised Final Fantasy VII isn't winning by a landslide in this poll. By the way, also, if you're joining us for the stream, we're about the halfway mark, I imagine. Thanks for tagging along for the conversation. If you're enjoying this, feel free to leave it with a like. It really does help push these videos to the next viewer. And obviously, if you have anything to say about the legends that come up, let us know. Any combos we miss or any synergies. But yeah, Rose is fine. I agree with you. Maybe better in the 99 than in the CZ.
This next one is a card I like a lot. Sabin Master Monk. 4 and a red for legendary creature, human noble monk with 4 power, 3 toughness, double strike, and blitz for 2 red, and discard a card. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its blitz ability. For those who don't know blitz, they do have the rules text on it. If you cast this spell for its blitz cost, it gains haste, and it when this creature dies, draw a card. Also sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Reason why this is really good for me: you just keep blitzing it back from the graveyard over and over and over again. Never care about commander attacks, and then maybe put trample on it with like Shadow Spear or something, and then it's dealing 10 trample damage. This is a Voltron commander that just does not give a crap if it dies. And it's slowly looting through your deck, but it's pretty much just pay for a turn, pay 1 or 2 to equip a trample equipment, and then just keep punching.
Yeah, it is kind of gnarly.
I like them. I like them a lot.
A lot. It's just a
Like,
nice, good rummage effect for the blitz. Works.
Yeah.
Sabine works. He's going to be cheaper from there on out as well.
There's also some discard shenanigans you could probably do, and maybe double trigger shenanigans to be able to draw multiple cards. But all in all, he's just going to be punching.
Yeah, that's funny. When we inevitably get to Naruto, Might Guy needs to have a similar ability. I feel like they're probably going to make him in green. Most of the Leaf Village ninjas, just by nature of the fact that they're. Well, I will see. I hope they're. We probably will get Naruto. I hope we get Chainsaw Man.
Next
Love
we
to,
have
I'd love to
Saz.
play Denji. Sorry.
Next we have Saz. 2 and green for
Kotsroy.
legendary creature, human pilot with 3 power and 3 toughness. When this enters, search for a bird or basic land, reveal it, put into your hand, then shuffle. There's actually decent birds, but just due to the nature of what's it called? Shapeshifter, and due to the Chocobo being a card now. But more importantly, when this attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then double the number of counters on that creature. He is a insane +1/+1 counter commander. He will be killing people very quickly, and even if he is not the one dealing the damage, the thing that he's buffing will be very big very quickly. Why does he search for birds when he should be searching for hydras?
Well, Chocobo, we just can't catch a break, can we? Yeah, well, he's not calling for a Hydra. That's why. Okay. I get you, though. Saz is pretty dope. I agree with you. I'd be curious to see a brew for this. What's a bird? What's a bird in mono green that you could use that would like benefit with this?
There's the Chocobo chick that is landfall, get a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yeah, it's really just that, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's let's see, changelings. So changelings in green, really quick. Just gonna look into this.
Right.
I know there's the chameleon that doubles its power.
Is that the white one though?
No, Chameleon Colossus. It's a 2 green changeling protection from black, and then you can pay 2 green, and then it gains +X, where X is its power. So if you put counters on it and buff it, you can have it double its stats just by nature of it doing its thing. Dang, I wish this card was worded a little bit differently. There's Formless Genesis, which is a spell that you can search for. But yeah, it's primarily just the chick.
Did we discuss Sephiroth Fabled Soldier?
We've discussed all of the Sephiroths, I believe.
So good.
Let me double check just to be. Yeah, we discussed all 3 Sephiroths. I have my list on the side for those who don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, Cloud.
But we have Sarah Farron. 1 green and a white for a legendary creature, human citizen with 2 power and 2 toughness. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more other legendary creatures, transform this. Transform. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. And legendary creatures you control have +2/+2.
Yeah. It's a card.
Yeah, it's Anthem for legendaries. It is another legendary tribal commander. Not as good as the one we covered at the start of the stream. What's his name? Not as good as Ardbert, but
Auto Sisse card. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we could establish this as more of a 99 card.
Yeah, agreed.
It's cool though. I only played a little bit of Final Fantasy 13, so I don't remember Sarah that much, to be honest. So no real affinity.
Next, though, we have a card that I do like, but for all the wrong reasons. Shetzer, Wandering Gambler, 1 a black and a red for a legendary creature, human rogue pilot with 2 power and 2 toughness. ETB, create the Blackjack, a legendary 3/3 colorless vehicle artifact token with flying and crew 2. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, flip a coin. Whenever you win a coin flip, create 2 tap treasure tokens. Ignore everything with vehicles. We are just doing coin flips.
Does that card, is it still legal? The one where you can flip as many coins as you want? The red guy?
You're thinking of the Is It guy. There's the Jin that lets you flip infinite coins. There's no just red one. It combos with the red card. That's why you're thinking of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that is still legal, but
This would be great for
Setzer
it.
is
This would be amazing for it.
yeah. I just love the very dumb coin flip travel concept. You're just doing. I play this on 3. On turn 4, I flip all of the coins, and then I will proceed to pay mana for big things on the next turn.
I like it.
It's
It's
dumb.
cool. Yeah, it's
I
cool.
love it.
It's a low cost and high reward. It's pretty good.
Say more flux, but I have no more flux to give.
Yeah.
Legendary creature, spirit avatar, 5 power, 5 toughness. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay a life. If you do, draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on this.
Neat.
5 mana, draw a card each turn to make it a little bit bigger. Nah.
Yeah, it's like a Dark Confidant-esque style card, but 5 mana. That's kind of rough. He's not bad. I mean, you'll get to 7 damage pretty quickly, and then you could just 3-hit someone. But I mean,
yeah,
with advantage, Will, you'll have a new card, and in addition to your draw every turn.
Yay!
See more, they say.
No, I will say more.
God, it's Seymour. Wait, I gotta look at something really quick.
Next though, Shadow, mysterious assassin, 2 and a black, legendary creature, human assassin with 3 power, 3 toughness, and death touch, and throw. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrificed permanent. What you looking at?
I'm looking at Titus. I'm trying to remember, and no spoilers, I guess, but at the end of 10, like, there's a perfect ending, if I'm not mistaken, and then like the standard ending, he kind of gets whisked away because I'm like, isn't he a spirit like Orin is? But apparently he's not. Titus is not a spirit in the traditional sense. He is a dream of the faith, specifically created by you, Yevon. Well, so I was trying to see like Orin, like, does it say that Titus is a spirit in this game? But he's just a human warrior. That's all. I just wanted to see that. Shadow's fine.
Yeah, Shadow's draw 2 extra cards. He's bad Eureka.
Yeah. Cool art. Great looking character. But
Shalinda.
What'd you call me?
Yevon Abdicate.
Okay.
Green and white for legendary creature, human cleric with 2 power, 2 toughness, and lifelink. Whenever another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature if its power is less than this. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on this. Persist combo card.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like we have a few of those, but you got one in the CZ now with lifelink. Is the lifelink relevant?
Good. It's getting bigger every turn, so.
Okay. That's not bad. A 2-mana 2/2 with lifelink and that effect is pretty solid, honestly.
Next, though, a card that I very much like, Siegfried, Famed Swordsman. 3 to black. Legendary creature, human warrior rogue with 2 power, 2 toughness, and menace. When Siegfried enters, mill 3, then put X +1/+1 counters on Siegfried, where X is twice the number of creatures in your graveyard. Siegfried is going to enter, gain a ton of counters, have menace, and then punch and instantly kill somebody. Give him haste, he kills a man. Play a little bit of self-mill, he kills even more men. Good aggro.
Shadow is 99 for 5-color assassin EDH deck. I could see that. Is that scarf red? With the blood of his enemies. Why? Is the scarf red? It could just be the lighting effect. Like from the backdrop being red. It looks more orange than it does red, but there are blood stains on it.
Rusty. Kind of like rust colored.
Yeah, it's rust. It's rust. It's not red. Why is it?
He is completely plated in armor with a sword.
Yeah. And a scarf. It could be cold under that armor. You don't know. I'm assuming that it's been a while since I played this one. I assume the scarf is sentimental. Anyways.
Well, next we have a Sin, Undead Cataclysm. 5 a green and blue for a legendary creature, Leviathan Avatar with 5 power, 5 toughness, flying, and trample. When this enters, remove any number of counters from any number of artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. This enters with a +1 or with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is twice the number of counters removed this way. When this dies, put its counters onto target creature you control, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. I mean, this is just gonna mix with counter doublers and hardened scale effects. This is gonna scale up pretty quickly, and then it's gonna move its counters back to creatures, and then re-enter, and then do the thing again and again and again. It's just gonna make a lot of counters very quickly.
True.
7 mana is hard though.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't make it 10.
Yeah.
Well, he's
agreed.
from Final Fantasy X. Sea creatures shouldn't have flying.
I mean, there's those fish that kind of glide over water. They can fly. Why not? Why not give a Leviathan flying?
I like that. That's your beef with it. Does Palinchron have? Palinchron has flying, right? He's a big Leviathan.
True.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, people are getting.
Yeah, but Palinchron's a sky Leviathan, not a sea Leviathan.
What's the difference? They're closely related. Can you
imagine the difference between a bird and a fish? They both have flippers.
I don't think you call...
One's just called wings.
I was saying, no one points at a bird and says, "Look at those flippers." Sin flew in the game. He did fly in the game. This is a fact. We can look at Squall again. I happily do it.
If you want to look at... Does Squall the alternate art final in Scryfall?
No, they don't have it.
No, they still don't have it. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're not looking at Squall then.
No. Strago and Realm, though. This seems...
Strago and Realm. I love this card, by the way. Just going to say that beforehand.
Ooh.
2 and a red for a legendary creature, human wizard with 1 power and 3 toughness. Sketch and Lore. 2 and a red. Tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant, sorcery, or creature card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If it's a creature, that spell gains haste, and at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice this. Activate only as a sorcery. All the other cards exiled this way stay exiled, so if you hit a land, an artifact, or any of the non-randoms that you could potentially hit in somebody's deck, those cards stay exiled. So this is just a weird red milk deck, and considering the fact that about half of people's decks in CEDH are artifacts and or lands, this can mill rather hard. I don't think it's going to be good, but it's red mill.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking for like activate only as a sorcery. It's fine. Do you put what's it? Dual casting, twin casting? What's the one that duplicates an activated ability of a character? Be cool to do like leverage this on more opponents.
Yeah, I mean you can do illusionist bracers and a couple other things to just make this do its thing more often. But yeah, it's just untap is also a thing. Just untapping it is viable. It's fun. I don't know if it's going to be good. It's probably not CDH viable. In casual, you are going to obliterate that one friend's artifact deck. Oh, nice. Only 20 cards in your deck aren't artifacts and or lands. Middle 20.
Yeah, let's see that first. Instant speed. Let me get that enlightened tutor from you real quick. But what about Tataru Taru?
Tataru Taru is 1 and a white for a legendary creature dwarf artificer with 0 power and 3 toughness. When this enters, you draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, if it is that player's turn, create a tapped treasure token. Trigger only once each turn.
Ooh, wow.
You did not need the once each turn clause in there. I would have been totally fine if this is just if this was like weird Smothering Tithe for 2. With tapped treasures, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, the treasure's already tapped, my guy. Come on. Yes, you're gonna make a decent amount of treasures as the table like takes its turn, but I'm good on Taru, man. What is white doing with that? What's white doing with the treasure? Taru is a CDH staple? God damn.
I mean, it is like making some extra mana every turn, like maybe 1 to 2 mana every turn, so it's pseudo arcane signet.
Great.
I don't think it's
Marnius?
bad, but it's just the fact that you're only getting 1 on each turn.
My issue is that it's not as cracked as it could be, but I mean, people run Lotho, and Lotho's pretty damn good. So
Lotho can also trigger off of you, and also can trigger off of each opponent per turn. So it's nah.
It's pretty good. I know this is fine. Do I add this to Oswald? Maybe only because I want.
ETB draws a card and then potentially gives somebody draw, which gives you a treasure. So
yeah,
it's a maybe. I don't think you really need the ramp in Oswald though. So
no. But I like to be able to convert the 0 treasures into 1 cost artifacts.
Yeah,
like there's a cool way to get like a key out of your deck. I don't know. It's fine. Sure. It's fine. It's also historic because it's legendary. So. Okay, moving on. I like it. I agree, Mateus. It's not bad. I don't know if it's a staple. Tatar with a Helm of the Host? What is going on? And Treasure on ETB. And Treasure on ETB?
No. Yeah, because it gives somebody a draw on
May, sir. May. You're not gonna get it. We don't.
Who's gonna give up a draw, Patrick?
You would. You bitter fool. You would. You're on Matoya. You're on Matoya, and you're like, I don't need it.
Don't fish the feed. Freaking inverse. Don't feed the fish. Don't fish the feed.
Yeah.
Don't give them mana by drawing a card.
Yeah. Don't look at the give fish in the mouth. Don't. Well, moving on.
Fencred Waters. 4 and a white, legendary creature, human warrior.
Oh, did we
cover Mateus? Mateus is the warrior.
Did we do both Terras that are also warriors? I just want to state.
Yes, we did both Terras.
Okay.
3 power, 5 toughness, flash, royal guard. When this enters, another target legendary permanent you control gains indestructible as long as you control this. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this gains indestructible until the end of the turn. There is probably some Nev's Disc BS that you can do with this, but Nev's Disc is not legendary, even though it's his disc, but apparently he has like 20 in freaking bulk storage somewhere. This is good in the 99, potentially nice for some Voltron strategies. It itself is not a good commander.
No, kind of high costed.
We already did the Emperor, so next is the Warring Triad. 3 mana for a legendary artifact creature god with 5 power, 5 toughness, flying, trample, and haste. As long as there are fewer than 8 cards in your graveyard, this is not a creature. Tap, mill a card. Target player gains 1 mana of any color. It's the Spectral Searchlight in the command zone. That's fun. It eventually becomes a very punky card.
Target player adds 1 mana of any color? What a interesting...
It's funny. It is just funny. That is all that can be said about it.
Yeah, it's neat. Is it a Belby card? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Don't know.
No, it's probably not. Titus, Eunice Guardian, we've covered, right?
Yeah, we covered Titus. We covered both Tifas. Next is
Tromel?
Hormel. Ah, yes. Thormel.
Same Morris Butler?
Does not look like the accent that he should be having for
Tromel.
2 and a green for a 2/3 legendary creature, Elf Advisor. Each other non-token creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Pay 1. Tap. Proliferate X times, where X is the number of non-token creatures you control that enter the battlefield this turn. There's a lot of things that you can do with this card.
Huh. I mean, yeah, I like that ETB quite a bit.
Yeah, just... Firstly, he can do the persist lines by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, he can do Super Friend stuff by just playing a couple elves, then proliferating 5 times and alting most planeswalkers. In addition, this is Crater Hoof in the command zone. All of your creatures are entering with counters, and then eventually you can just go, I'm going to play 5 things from hand, or flicker 5 things, or do some loop to just get 5 things that enter this turn that aren't tokens. Then I'm going to pay 1 tap and give 5 +1/+1 counters to all my creatures that can still attack. And then I'm going to punch for a lot of damage. With a Hardened Scales that is 5 individual proliferate triggers for 5 individual Hardened Scale increases, so you double that. Really, really cool commander for a lot of different concepts.
Yeah. The one thing to note, it doesn't offer haste on the Crater Hoof side, but that's still really solid. Easy to put down. Yeah, I like it. Do you do elf ball shenanigans at all?
Yeah, you very easily could do elf ball shenanigans. You can also just do power matters stuff like Selvala, Marwyn, all of those fun things, and then just go. They have entered with the counter, play a whole bunch of things, pay 1, put 10 counters on Marwyn and Selvala, tap both of them, keep going.
I like
He's
it.
he's a fun casual commander. He can do a lot.
We won't be doing mono green again soon, but I don't mind it. This would be
Yes,
great.
this would be great in a Finn deck. You are correct. And Finn did get alternate art in this set.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, there's he got one of the Final Fantasy characters. I don't know who. I just saw it and I can't remember who. But anyway.
Oh. That's sick. I'm looking at it now.
Oh yeah, it's the freaking kid with the bodyguard. I can't remember which character that is though.
Oh, that's dope. Wow, Finn getting love over here. All right.
Ultima, Origin of Oblivion, 5 mana for a legendary creature god with 4 power, 4 toughness, and flying. When this attacks, put a blight counter on target land for as long as that land has a blight counter on it. It loses all land types and abilities, and has tap, add a generic, or add a colorless. Whenever you tap a land for colorless, add an additional colorless. Land disruption, nothing else. This is built to annoy the crap out of people.
Yeah. He's got an awkward set of like additional arms that are bothering me.
Yeah.
Like the ones in the back, like he wants to give a hug, but it's not really.
You're in the wrong position. You need to have the front ones for the hug.
Yeah, so the back ones, they're only like that secretly because he's not able to rest them because the ones in the front are sort of fucking up the range of mobility. It's really awkward being a god sometimes.
Yeah, it's the same thing as like that really dumb joke of like, man, thank the Lord that our boobs aren't in our armpits because then we'd be walking around like this all the time.
Yeah, right. Also, it's sad when this guy goes out, like he buys a pair of gloves, but he needs to buy 2 pairs of gloves because he's got 4 hands. What's he do when he gets cold?
What's going to do when he loses one? Then he's going to have 3 of the same glove on one hand and just that one awkward 4th glove on that other hand.
Yeah, true. And well, they look all the same size, so it should be easy to buy. He's probably easy to shop for. Ultima's fine. I don't think we're playing it. Maybe maybe Belly card.
Yeah, it's an interesting card. There's probably some like dumb use for it just being disruption for Guy's Cradle and stuff.
Ultima plus Helm of the Host. I've heard Helm of the Host multiple times today.
I mean, that last effect does stack. Yeah. So yes, your lanes will tap for incrementally more and more and more. But to what end? Next, Ultimacia Temporal Threat. 4 blue legendary creature, human warlock. When this enters, tap all creatures your opponent controls. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to player, draw a card. Blue Edric that taps stuff.
Pretty much. Not as good as the other Ultimacia.
Yeah, this is also 6-mana Edric versus 3-mana Edric, so that kind of makes the decision for us, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Yes, if I had 4 arms, I would stop complaining about buying gloves. Would you? I'm bad enough with my appendages. Like, I rarely ever put on the right amount of like clothing for the season. So I'll just be frigid with 4 arms. But I could put... Oh, you just put the sets of arms under the opposing armpits. Or the same armpits. He'll look very awkward like this. I don't know how it is for Ultima. I'm sure he's fine. No one has lands? No one has lands? What do you mean? I don't understand that comment.
Oh, it's just Ultima making it so that no one has lands. No fun for anyone.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, tap all creatures your opponent controls? I don't know about that.
Well, next, though, we have a Umaro, Raging Yeti. 5 in a red, legendary creature, Yeti Berserker. 6 power, 6 toughness, and trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one at random. creatures you control gain +3/+0 and trample. Dang. Discard your hand and draw 4 cards. Dang. Deal 5 damage to any target. Pretty good. All these are very good options. If you're doing aggro stuff, you probably don't have a ton of things in hand, but you at random could have to discard your hand. Giving your entire board +3/+0 and trample is insane in some decks. And then the deal 5 is basically just kill a thing. As a commander, not horrible. In the 99, brutal. The card's very good.
Is there anything in the game that says if a card would require you to do something at random, you can choose instead?
No.
I thought there was an
At least
artifact.
not in white border.
Okay. These are all good. I would love the choice. And you're right. I think once you run out of hand, like discarding one or two cards to draw 4 is pretty solid. It is
Also,
Yeti. Mm-hmm.
I would personally prefer the one uncard that says if a card would have you choose modes, you may choose all modes.
Ooh.
I would very much prefer that with this.
Yeah, actually. You know what? How about we elect all of them? That's pretty good. Uranger Agarelt?
Uranger, sure. Uranger is white and a blue for a legendary creature elf advisor with 1 power and 3 toughness. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, gain 2 life. You can tap him to look at the top card of your library, and you may exile that card face down. You may also tap him until the end of the turn. You may play cards exiled by this, and spells cast this way cost 2 less to cast. There is probably some weird shenanigans where you can Agatha Soul Cauldron this away, giving some creature the secondary effect so that you can Uba Mask, like you Uba Mask it, make it a creature, then give Uba Mask a counter, then Uba Mask can tap, and then you can play all the things exiled by Uba Mask, including your opponent's stuff, and they cost 2 less. There's some dumb thing you could probably do here that would be funny, but not good.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 2 mana, so like the shenanigans start pretty early.
Yeah.
He's not bad.
As a commander, doesn't really do anything.
No.
In the 99, probably fun.
Yeah. He's no VV. We can say that much.
Next we have Vincent Valentine. 2 black for a legendary creature assassin with 2 power and 2 toughness. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Vincent put +1/+1 counters on Vincent equal to that creature's power. Then, when this attacks, you may transform it. I'd like to point out this is just an assassin. It doesn't have a creature type. Why does it not have a creature type? Because when you transform it, it's a furry. Galleon Beast, legendary creature, werewolf beast with 3 power, 2 toughness, trample, and lifelink. When this dies, return it to the battlefield tapped, with the front face up.
Makes sense.
Vincent's just a hard-to-kill guy that makes himself bigger and can get keywords if you want to give him keywords.
Sounds dope. Yeah. Nothing to say about that. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, we got another Vincent. Same story as before, just an assassin. 2 in a red legendary creature, assassin with 3 power, 3 toughness, and menace. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, put +1/+1 counter on Vincent. Chaos. Whenever Vincent deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each opponent if Vincent's power is 7 or greater. Punching one guy punches every guy. Very good Voltron effect. Very good just like go wide token commander because he gets 3/+1/+1 counters every turn if you do that. Cool.
Yeah. I never played a standalone game. Let me know if you guys enjoyed what was it? Dirge of Cerberus, I think is what it was called. If you've ever played that, let me know. I was always curious about it. Anyways.
I also want to say that with that second Vincent, very good punish deck. Like if you want to do the Harsh Mentor and all those burn effects, Vincent can definitely chunk people down to around 10 health pretty quickly. And then at that point, Harsh Mentor is kind of a game ender. So I like Vincent. Vincent is cool.
Which Vincent do you like better?
Like them both for just general different reasons, because one is just a self-building Voltron, the other is like a good group slug. I think the red one is preferable for me.
I agree with that.
Next is Waka, Devoted Guardian. 2 green and a white for legendary creature human warrior with 4 power, 4 toughness, reach, and trample. When Waka deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target artifact that player controls and put a +1/+1 counter on Waka. Beginning of your end step. If a counter is put onto Waka this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Consistent artifact removal, decent keywords, and group buff. Well, self-buffing. Like him. He's not great, but I like him.
Yeah, he's not great. His art really resembles the in-game character. That much I enjoy. The crazy hairdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. There's a lot of counter manipulation in this set, I gotta say. And not too dissimilar from Lord of the Rings, as a matter of fact. I don't know why they default to that.
+1/+1 counters are like a good entry level mechanic for a lot of different players, and this is an incentive for new people to join the game. But going to the next card, we covered this one on the Tifa live stream because I just wanted to hop in on this one. Zane's Dark Mage, 1 a blue and a black for a legendary creature, human wizard with 3 power, 3 toughness, and menace. Zane gets +1/+1 for each non-creature, non-land card in your graveyard. Play this, play haste, punch for lethal, repeat. Brutally strong card.
Self-mill. Each non-creature, non-land card. Yeah, it's not difficult to get there. You can get pretty big pretty quick.
We covered both Y'shtola, so next is Yuffie.
Yeah.
2 and a red for a legendary creature, human ninja with ninjutsu for 1 and a red. When this enters, gain control of target non-creature artifact for as long as you control this. Then you may attach an equipment card you control to this.
I will take that 1 ring.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah. Very much yes.
It's probably what you're going for.
Also, kind of sad that this is a 3/3 because you can't find her off of Imperial Recruiter.
Yeah, I mean, so far, yeah, she doesn't have like Commander Ninjutsu, mind you. This is a different thing. Ninjutsu is from hand, sadly.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's cool that we got a red ninjutsu ninja. I gotta say that. Yuffie, definitely a favorite from Final Fantasy VII.
Just generally interesting disruption.
Yeah, no, but the effect is really good. The effect is like really not bad. I agree with you though. It does suck that you just can't tutor this up. But 3 for a 3/3, it's just good stat wise. So I can't hate that.
Next is Zach Fair. 1 white for legendary creature, human soldier with 0 power and 1 toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Zach enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. Pay 1, sacrifice Zach Fair. Target creature you control gains indestructible until the end of the turn. Put Zach Fair's counters onto that creature and attach any equipment that was attached from Zach Fair to that creature. All in all, not that strong. All I gotta say, Zach Fair.
Yeah. Is this basically the bodyguard effect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selfless bodyguard, I think is what it's called.
Dauntless bodyguard?
Maybe Dauntless.
He just sacrifices himself, though. You don't have to pay into it, right?
Yeah, you just sack. You don't have to pay anything into it. But Zach does move counters around, which is useful.
Zach does sack, but he moves counters. Got it. He's fine.
And we got one last one, and it's Zidane, Tantalus Thief.
Ooh.
3, a red, a white for a 3/3 legendary creature, human mutant scout. When this enters, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until the end of the turn. Untap that creature. It gains lifelink and haste until the end of the turn. When an opponent gains control of a permanent you control, create a treasure token. Hijack effects, donate effects. There's a lot of fun things you can do here.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, 5 mana for this effect is okay.
Yeah, wish it was lower. Honestly, would be a lot more fine if it was like 3 mana. Like a 3 mana 3/3 hijack effect in the command zone is honestly fine. Only reason why I think it could be too strong is because you're in white, so you could flicker it. But like, it's gain control of a creature an opponent controls, so you can't do
end of
TP
turn
stuff. So
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, there's no Zealous Conscripts shenanigans, which I guess is the clearest 1-1, right? Untap it against lifelink and haste.
I do just want to say, Helm of the Host.
Yeah. The obligatory...
You steal 2 things, then you make 4 treasures.
Obligatory Helm of the Host. I mean, it is uncommon, so...
I do kind of like that was a meme that was slightly added in with the chat, because it's like the things before, they were actually okay with Helm of the Host. This is also good with Helm of the Host. Helm of the Host is not a card anyone wants to play because it's a 9 mana investment.
So much to do. Yeah, this is fine, dude.
The one deck that plays Helm of the Host will remove Helm of the Host if it gets a better option. Godo is happy to cut Helm of the Host if it gets a cheaper thing that does something similar.
I don't know that we will. I honestly
we
don't.
Won't.
Yeah, we won't. But it's such a shame. Is this the only Zidane we have? It better not be the only Zidane we get. We could do better for Zidane, guys. But that's it. I think that's it for...
General White Flicker is not too bad. And weird donate effects does mean that... it's when an opponent gains control of a permanent you control, which makes so the hijack effects work. There's probably some fun things that you can do here still. But yeah, Zidane is...
Maybe we'll get another one. I really, really hope. But no, that's a lot of new legends. I would say, what are the standouts from the ones we just covered?
All in all, like, there's a lot of really good punchy things that got spoiled this time around. Like, a lot of commanders that do things with either +1/+1 counters or getting stats in general. From a CEDH standpoint, I don't think there was anything new that we didn't cover before that's really heavy CEDH. I'm quickly going back over everything to see if there's anything that I'm like, oh yeah, no, I forgot this is one we covered today. I mean, like, maybe FanDaniel, but FanDaniel is probably too slow for CEDH.
I like Least Hexed a lot. Least Hexed the Azorius, 3 mana.
Yeah.
It's just another punchy one, but it's not bad.
Yeah, Kryl is potentially the one CEDH one that we did today, I think, just stacks the utter heck out of the entire table.
Right. Not that everything needs to be CEDH, but we do like brewing for that here. Yeah. Gao is really cool too, by the way. I really like Gao.
There's a lot of cool things. I'm gonna be I'm gonna enjoy playing Tormel.
So Matoya and Hermes, those are the ones I'm most interested in brewing. Matoya and Hermes.
I like how you were flaming Hermes until recently.
We talked about it. Well, maybe we can put we could even put Hermes in Matoya.
I forgot Matoya was a thing. Yeah, Matoya is definitely like the best thing we talked about today, I think.
Yeah, Noctis we did technically talk about, but you know. At any rate, guys, that's it for the second part of our set review. You can hang tight for the rest of it here on Local Game Group. It might be soon. We'll see. But we're going to discuss the set in whole as well. Normally, when we do set reviews and cover cards, we don't really look at legendaries because we cover them at length outside of the set review. So we could just focus on the other cards that will likely end up at the 99. And by likely, I just mean the ones that are going to have a unique effect in the game. Try not to cover every card. You like the Yeti? I like the Yeti.
The Yeti is cool.
The Yeti is cool. I think Matoya might be the best CEDH playable one. But
Matoya is brutally efficient, and I love it.
I heard the Cloud Strife is good. Did we not talk about the mono white Cloud? We did, right?
We did on the previous stream. Yeah, Cloud Strife is just... Cloud is...
Midgard Mercenary.
Yeah. There's no specifically Cloud Strife, but Cloud Midgard Mercenary is really good just because you can find Skull Clamp, play Skull Clamp, immediately get 4 cards, in addition to the fact that you can also get like reanimate artifacts or just general good utility artifacts. He works swords of
pre-war formal wear.
Yeah.
Bring that ass
yes
back.
And no. Actually, hold on. Pre-war formal wear, that attaches immediately, right?
Yeah.
So Cloud is equipped when he gets his ETB, so he gets 2 ETBs, right?
Enters the battlefield, return target creature card with a mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to pre-war formal wear.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, pre-war Formaware with Cloud does make it so that when you bring back Cloud with Formaware, you get 2 Cloud ETBs because Cloud is equipped, so Cloud abilities and equipments attached to Cloud will trigger an additional time. That's pretty good.
There is a Cloud Strife. Are you talking about? Damn it! Yeah, there is a Cloud Strife.
Oh, the alternate art, yeah.
This is so fucking good. It had to be Najila. It couldn't have been Oswald. Anyways, that's it for the stream. Will, any closing thoughts for this one?
Screw Xenos Gang Gang. I will end every stream like that until either Xenos is printed or until Xenos is banned.
I wish we got a more playable Aerith. And Cloud for that matter. I'll do mono white Cloud though. That seems kind of fun. Now I kind of want to try that actually. Right? If you just like search up, we'll deal with it when we deal with it. But there's so many legendaries from the set to brew for. Obviously, we'll get to them soon on the channel. We'll probably be doing brews for this set for a while because there's quite a few legendaries we want to discuss. Happy to see Final Fantasy Tactics rated so highly for everyone else. I think it's probably my favorite PS1 era Final Fantasy game, apart from the like mainline entries. I might build Najila now. Yeah, I kind of want to build Najila now too, if I'm being honest with you. But shoot, damn it. Stupid Cloud. I will be wandering around every local like Target / Best Buy / whatever looking for collector boosters. I'm just letting you guys know. So you might bump into me there because I just want to rip open some of these cards. They look so dope.
I'll say, Patrick, if we did get an Oswald variant from this set, it's probably going to be Sid.
Maybe Sid or like one of the why do I think Moogle? Yeah, but Sid's maybe the nearest one that would be Oswald. But isn't he a gnome artificer? Like, wouldn't it be one of the... or Moogles aren't gnomes.
Well, Sid is a human artificer, but a lot of Sid's variants look like gnomes.
No, they look gnomish.
Patrick, really quick, just check on Discord for like 1 second.
All right, sorry guys. Your Will's face is going to get obstructed.
Yeah, try telling me that this is a human artificer.
You know what? I'll pull that up forever. I'll pull that up.
You can pull up that Sid art.
We'll end on that. We'll end on the close-up of this very much not human artificer. No, you're right. That probably could have been... That could have been the one. Okay. Those alt arts come and play boosters also. Do they? Or, well, the probability should be higher in a collector booster, though, right?
Yeah, the play boosters and collector boosters are...
Right, I don't need...
I think they're about the same, but I think there's like an extra slot for alternates in the collector boosters, so yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, there's also... I assume the probability of hitting any of the serialized... I've not hit a serialized card in Magic. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I know the odds are extremely low, but this would be the set where I'd want to get it. What was Squall's nemesis name? Zephyr? 1 in every 3 packs. 1 in every 3 packs. Is that what they said the ratio was? For play boosters.
For the cards, or the, not the variants.
Dude, no shit. Okay, wow, that's great. No foils. Yeah, no, well, I would definitely want a foil. I guess that's another thing. Okay, duly noted. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. I should probably check the progress of that Knicks game. I'm just curious. I assume it's over. It started at 8. I'm actually kind of curious now. See you guys. I got to wake up early watching my wife run a half marathon. Excited for that. Wish her luck. See you guys.